Welcome to another episode of Aberrant, Project Utopia. This podcast is rated MA for fantasy violence, language, and sexual situations. The recordings for Aberrants will be in the raw, which means there will be little to no editing and some silent moments known as dead air. I'm Kirk, and I'm the storyteller for Aberrant First Edition.
I am Mary, and I am playing Bethany King, also known as Firefly.
I am Andrew, and I will be playing Connor Blood, also known as Zeus.
Okay, last time we wrapped, you guys were all in your lair talking to some other Novas that you guys had met at the opening for the Vegas hotel / bar dance club.
That's right, we had the after party.
It was called the Obsidian Tower or something like that. And I want to say the few details we had given to them were that two of them could fly and the rest were broken up into... I don't even know if I said this last time or if I wrote this in the meantime, that two were sort of party animals, two were sort of wanting to be superheroes, so they were taking everything super serious, and the other twos were kind of moderates. They were just kind of fleshing out how the whole having powers thing had worked. So you'd also, I think Voss showed up, and you guys were hanging out with her, and Chroma Samurai had Skyped in for better terminology.
He had non-trademarked videoly called us.
Yes. And he never, you don't get a notification to open up something. He just sort of ports in.
Just takes over our TV.
Yeah, and cameras and everything, which at this time, I guess there'd be video cameras running around, but Project Utopia had equipped everything out. So, and I also want to say that your handler for Project Utopia had moved or was on the way to moving to Las Vegas as well. Ramirez. So he is not there yet, but he's on his way. What else? You guys met some Hollywood actors and actresses at the hotel opening. You'd also gained a new member from Utopia, and I do not remember his name.
I don't either.
Blue Streak. This is Seth's character.
I was going to be like, Artemis? Yeah, no, totally.
Right?
I remember
Right,
Artemis.
I remember Artemis.
She said her name.
Artemis also showed up, I believe.
Yes,
so she was there
I
as
think
well.
she did.
I don't remember his name. Did anybody write it down?
I don't think I interacted with him at
Right,
all, which is why I don't think I know his name.
Doing
Kinda
his
did his
own
own thing,
thing, and I remember he got a pizza, and that's about all I remember.
Yeah, got a pizza, came back.
I remember we spent a lot of time discussing math and where he could run to and back. So that way he could lie to this woman about where he got the pizza from.
Lie to somebody. And he wound up back in your place, in your pool, with at least 2 or 3 of the 6 that had come along.
The football player, he was there too.
Blitz.
Blitz, yes. I don't know. I kept wanting to say Emmett for some reason. I'm like, that's wrong.
Eric is his name. So
Eric. Okay, at least it's
there you go.
Z-E. It's like...
Yep. And
supposed
Voss,
with an A. Auric.
I think they said Slicer was off doing his own thing. Haven't heard from him in a couple days.
Right, I think this is about him going back home and trying to take care of something.
Yeah. So basically, the night was going late, and the pool was getting naked, so there was a lot of that going on. And every once in a while, you guys were looking back at the pool, and it was filling up with people, but it was there was one Nova that has replicated herself, so she is cloning herself.
She is that conceited.
There's about 7 of them now in the pool with everybody else. So, yeah.
I mean, that'd be really useful if you're trying to build out teams for any kind of sporting or, water polo or something, but still.
If it's naked pool time and you're just making 7 of you, you're just conceited.
Yep.
Even Zeus is going, it's a bit much.
So, that's going on over there. They're not all in the pool. I think the 2 high horse people are kind of sitting out drinking wine. One is an Indian guy named Glenn, and another lady who keeps referring to herself as Ditto, but her name's Tia as well. So the moderates and the party animals are kind of in the pool. The moderates are kind of sitting at one end watching everything happen. And one girl calls herself Copycat, and the other one just calls himself Brett. So, yeah.
I like
Not
Brett.
everybody has. Not everybody has crazy names.
Brett.
Yep.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. So.
And no one's really showing off their powers or anything except for the person who's replicated herself for
Except for Mirror Force over there.
fun reasons. Yeah. So the blue streak is busy with that, zipping back and forth between people, and water is being thrown everywhere every time he does. So, and Voss is having a nice time having champagne, and of course, Blitz is in the pool too. So, yeah. There wasn't enough girls in the group. That's why she's replicated herself.
I don't know. It sounded like it was an even spread, because if there was like two uptight, and it sounds like a male and female uptight, it sounds like a male and female.
The two party animals are guys. The clone is Ditto, and Glenn and Brett are kind of sitting off to the side with Copycat. They're not really getting involved. But you have Blue Streak, and you have Blitz, who keeps demanding to have one person on each arm, that sort of thing. So she decided to replicate herself.
She is her own escort service.
Yes. Yep. And if you're watching closely, whenever she does replicate herself, whatever she has on her replicates as well. So if she's taken off her top, the clone has no top on. So, and
it's a very as-is situation.
You're picking up that you're hearing whenever she clones herself, it's whatever she has on her gets cloned as well somehow. It's like guns, grenades, all that
interesting.
stuff. Yeah. And it works for a while, and then it stops. It's a scene-long thing. But I had to check that out. I had to look it up. I'm like, what gets replicated? Because if clothes get replicated, then everything else should get. Yeah.
I love the idea of finding like one shirt, 3 pairs of shorts.
Exactly. That's what it's looking like.
6 pairs of underwear, like all of them from
yep.
just various stages of the night.
That's when it was like, oh, don't worry, it's only there for it. Oh, dude. So that's actually kind of questioning, though. I'm sorry if I'm taking this way off track now, but if it's guns and theoretically the bullets as well, and she shoots someone, and over time it disappears. Yep. So if the next scene is that guy at the hospital, does he not have a bullet in him, but still a bullet wound?
Correct. It turns into some goo, I think they said in the player's guide.
That's like the greatest thing for forensics ever, or at least not being able to, match ballistics.
It's the greatest nightmare for forensics.
That's what I mean. Somebody trying to beat it. Yeah.
But with everything else going on in the Nova universe,
I'm sure.
I guess it'd be close.
At that point,
they can identify your goo.
I was going to say your goo might carry your DNA or something. It's probably fine.
Generally, mine does. So
that opens up a whole nother visual image of being shot with someone that.
Shooting someone with your goo.
And then you'd only last for 24 hours. And then it might, maybe,
That's interesting. Cleanup's nice, but if you get impregnated, how does that? I guess
although nobody's been able to get pregnant yet, so we don't know.
And because there's also the thing is like, so if she clones herself, and the clone gets pregnant, what then happens?
It would have the clone either gets reabsorbed, and I don't think anything comes with it but memories. So if the clone's pregnant, I think it just gets absorbed.
I just had a horrible image of. Never mind.
Yeah, no. We're all there, and we're all going.
Figure it out.
Never mind. These are doors I should not open. Meanwhile, we're all daring each other. Going, hey, you open the door.
Right.
You deal with that psychological trauma.
Clones who do not recombine dissolve at the end of the scene as energies that form them dissipate. So I think it just dissipates. It's not actually like a goo, but that's pretty funny. So yeah, they rewrote the whole clone thing, so you have to look at the player's guide to get it, because apparently the one in the book, I haven't compared them, but it wasn't workable. Like they just, instead of like putting a couple lines out, they just rewrote the whole thing. Let's just start over.
It makes sense. That's one of those powers that's like really hard to get right or get playable, I should say.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. So there's a lot of fun going on. People are laughing. More champagne and liquors being brought up. I thought you guys grabbed a whole bunch on the way there too, didn't you? I thought somebody stopped and got a whole bunch, or
I remember I got there
Blue Streak
first.
went and got some.
He might have went and got some. I remember I got there first so that I could get staff ready.
Right. And I was later with the limo.
And
you were Zeus, right? You weren't Connor coming in and like locking everything up.
Kind of both.
Okay.
He locked up his personal spaces.
Right.
Yeah.
And about that time is when Chrome Samurai came in. I thought that was a freak out point for Connor for a few seconds, but I can't remember why.
Connor was definitely freaking out about having people over.
Maybe that's what it was.
And that's why he left early, got there as quickly as possible, locked up all of his shit, turned back into Zeus, who then called up, like, oh yeah, we're going to need, because I remember it kind of being like a little like internal debate. Like Connor's like, we got to go now. And Zeus is like, yeah, we got to set up for the party. And Connor's like, yes, we have to prepare for our guests.
I also shared Greg's most recent song he put out for his birthday. And the visual image I kept getting for it was when Zeus had turned into Connor at the end of the Manchester parade aftermath.
Depressing.
That song like sounds like it would go perfectly for him, like looking at all the devastation. And about halfway through, it sort of changes tempo, and I would assume that's when Nova start flying in and saving things, and just a lot of slow motion scenes of him looking at wounded and trying to walk away from it, and it just keeps
Throwing away the suit.
I haven't listened to it
Yeah,
yet.
it's really. I thought it was really good, but he's got some female vocals in it, so it's a little different than his normal thing. So yeah, I shared it.
Oh yeah, I
just
saw
kept
it.
seeing
I saw it on his timeline. I saw it on yours. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to listen to it. I just haven't had time to sit down and do it.
Yeah. So I might put it into this at the end of this episode, just so people can hear it, just in general. But yeah, so I just kept thinking like that'd be great if it was a movie. That's where it would be. So anyway, back to what's going on while you guys are sitting around talking. Are you with Voss and them? Are you two together with Voss?
I think I was mostly
Chrome
hanging out with
Samurai,
Voss.
I thought you guys were.
That was I
catching up.
was putting my own music on so that nobody else could, and then yes.
Okay. So you have between you and the pool is the Brett and Elizabeth. They're kind of sitting down on the floor talking and hanging out and that sort of thing. I guess Chrome Samurai eventually gets one of your attention, and he's like, either if you guys don't have cell phones yet, do we? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, we do.
So you guys get little
we'd have
notifications.
Blackberries.
Yeah.
Because the technology is as it is today for 20.
It just looks more like the technology of the future,
Right.
Back then, but the functionality of the present.
Right. So you guys get messages on pop-ups on your phone where he's investigating all the people who are in your place. He's doing complete like rundowns on who they are and what their affiliations are and
What they're likely
coming
to
from.
steal.
Exactly. If they're plants and all that stuff.
Nice.
Seems like they're all just independents. They're all pretty fresh and new, and they have gone through Project Utopia to sort of get a handle on most of their powers, and now they're kind of floating around. They really don't have a place to go, a place to be, or a group or anything like that. So
Sounds familiar.
they're just kind of popping around to different grand openings and wherever Novas are kind of showing up doing that sort of thing.
Are they primarily United States people?
Yes. I think Glenn Patel is the only one who is Indonesian, but he's born in America.
Okay.
So none of them have any accents. They're all American accents. I guess if you wanted one or two to have like a Southern accent or a Boston accent, that's fine. But nothing.
Minnesotan.
There you go.
Oh yeah, copycat right there. You know, she's just gonna.
Oh God!
she's just gonna
in
get
chorus,
around.
I'm good.
I'm going to say just one person here or there doing that.
Right?
So.
No. I'll
But
take
yeah,
it back.
they all seem like they're on the up and up. They've just been hitting the circuit for a long time. Dante and Johnny have been the worst in the headlines of showing up to the parties and getting just shitty for like weeks, that sort of thing. But they haven't caused any problems or done anything. He says they're all pretty harmless. So
No charges have been filed.
no one's really done anything crazy.
Nothing that you can prove.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing that you remember the next day, anyway.
Right.
Nothing that'll hold up in court.
Johnny, one of the party animals, is kind of a gothy looking guy. The rest are all kind of just, I don't know. The moderates are dressed in their own kind of nice clothes. The serious high horse people are in like outfits, costumes, and the party people are just in like party outfits, so shiny shirts
or not.
Yeah. None of them are in anything right now. So, but he also sends you a message that he's going to build a file in each of them and put them on your computers with video of what he's seeing and everything like that. So it's going to be a huge workup. But he's very thorough.
Whatever floats your boat, man.
Right. And you think he may have done this with you now that you're seeing this, like, you guys were vetted pretty good before. So.
Like Connor is all for this.
Right.
Zeus, meanwhile, is trying to make sure no one gets a stain on his silk pajama pants that he's wearing.
Right. And it seems like Ditto and Glenn are really wanting to do the whole superhero route. So when they're out and about, they're really worried about their image, but in here they realize it's no cameras and all that stuff. So they're kind of letting their hair down for the first time. So I don't know if there was anything else Voss was going to try and talk to you guys about. Anything? She's been investing her money and kind of traveling around doing that whole scene.
Yeah, kind of just laying low, but in the nice way.
Right.
Where you get to see the world.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that was it for the night. So the night goes on. If you guys want to do anything,
That's
otherwise the night just continues
right
until the morning.
We don't sleep, so it's
right. So morning comes and they start bringing food in and all that good stuff. Coffee, teas, any kind of breakfast item you want. An omelet bar gets rolled in.
I was just going to say.
And a guy's standing there with a spatula or a whisk, and he's smiling.
I wonder if I can layer omelet in waffle.
Just make your own breakfast taco.
Yeah.
But like
with the waffle as the shell.
Right. But
Yeah.
like it's more of a sandwich than a taco. It's Yeah.
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 You talk to the little guy and he gets like excited about it. He's like, yeah, this is going to be great. And he goes to town making it. Because all of the technology we have today back then, so we have like a McGriddle thing going on and all that.
Right.
For the hungry Nova. When you need 4,000 calories in a sandwich.
Bacon and garlic and an omelet in the middle of a waffle and maybe not the syrup. Skip the syrup, but yeah.
He has to make a call and they bring more ingredients up.
Yeah. Zeus Wholesale would probably offer like to make Voss breakfast. Because I guarantee you, I probably have nicer ingredients than what they've got, and he's all about making like his own like egg white omelets and things that he would make in the morning.
Okay.
Like would actually like breakfast for him is like, it's like it's an all egg white turkey spinach tomato omelet and like a literal basket of fruit.
There you go. Yeah, you have all the ingredients you need.
Yeah.
The hotel keeps stocking your food pantries and everything automatically. So you think it's daily that people are coming up and checking and putting food in. So
And that's even like they still have to keep restocking it, even though I half the time go down to like buffets for half of my meals.
You think they're packaging up some of the extra buffet food and sending up to you guys to get rid of?
Because it's just like and
it's not like they're just throwing it in boxes.
Oh
They
right,
got rid
no,
of, like,
it's
serving
nice
plates
and still it's regarnished and no. If you see me walking around without food in my hand, it's real weird. Like just when we're hanging out at home, like
There's Post-it notes on everything with what it is and what the day is and everything like that. So yeah, they're treating you guys pretty good. So breakfast goes by pretty good. Voss eats, Blitz eats. Everybody kind of takes the time and has a great time. Most of the people are mostly dressed now, except for a few. But yeah, it just continues on to the morning. So nothing else is really going on. Channels are okay. Chrome Samurai comes and goes here and there. But he's doing his own thing. Anything else you guys want to do, or anything you want to do today?
I don't think so. I mean, like this is kind of this whole thing was just a little bit of Zeus getting out of Connor space, I guess you could say. Connor is still very much in that space, but right now because there are other people here, it's still in Zeus mode. So
okay. Some of them are talking about trying to help out around the city. They don't know if they're going to stay here or not, but if they do, the hi-hats are wanting to really like do public service somehow. Either if it's with things going on in the city or helping with police or things like that. So that's where the conversation is sort of ending up in this early afternoon. They're trying to figure out how to best maintain or use their resources. And the party animal guys are the two who are like, I don't know if I want to stay here. It's still a great place, but it seems like one or two of the moderates are kind of keeping them roped into staying here. That can party every night, go out in the day and do something, and then get recognition and get free drinks and brought into other VIP parties. And so they're kind of like, oh yeah, well I guess, yeah, we could do that. We could
Wait. Stay here as in stay in
In
Nevada?
Vegas, not
Okay.
in our apartment.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Because definitely 100% Connor has a brain box that goes, the fuck do you mean stay here? You've already stayed here too long.
And they do keep asking you guys about Utopia here and there, and figuring out who bought the place, or if you guys bought the place, or how all this food's being paid for, and things like that. So,
Yeah, Connor would be pretty honest. Not Connor. Zeus would be pretty honest about that. Sorry.
I was like, that was a weird sentence. That didn't make any sense.
Zeus would be pretty honest about it. Just saying, it's like, oh, we've already done a few jobs for Project Utopia, so it is through. But we haven't been there too terribly long, so this is mostly paid for a little bit out of our own pocket, a little bit out of Project Utopia. And it's just would this be a hotel? Then we're at the top of.
yes,
Okay.
you're the penthouse.
Yeah, the hotel also gets a lot of recognition from just having Aberrants,
In residence.
in residence, as well as actual like registered members of Project Utopia. So, there's a little bit of a deal that's being cut there, and
Okay, that sounds good. Voss and Blitz don't say anything. They're just sipping their coffee or drinks.
I mostly just nod along with whatever he's saying too. I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds, yeah.
Zeus did not utter one lie.
Right.
A little bit of them.
He
a little-
definitely used the word Nova and not
Right.
Aberrant, but otherwise,
Yeah.
yes, that's, yeah.
Whenever you say something about putting your money in, they go. You get the slurping of the coffee. They're talking about Utopia building their own facility here, and they're seeing like the ground construction go up, and so they're asking you about what you know about the facility and things like that. But it's not really in your loop of what you know.
There's a lot of shrugging and going,
Yeah, and they're building it off at the end of Vegas, where it's easy to get to from the airports and stuff, but it's away from the population center. So in case something does go wrong.
Yeah, and this is where Zeus would even show me. Well, I'm not too sure like why they chose here, but I know my partner and I chose here because our powers, when developing them, can cause some collateral damage, and collateral damage in the middle of a deserted desert is a lot more acceptable than in a city. So they may have been taking a cue from us and going along that same line.
Chrome Samurai pops up on the screen, and he says, they're probably building it here because of the number of eruptions are greater here than in most cities across the planet, because of the excitement and the frustration and all that stuff seems to be triggering people more than London. People on the subway aren't that stressed out. People here losing lots of money, getting lap dances. It's all adding in.
combination of these two things. Leads
Possibly
to
at the
very
same time.
interesting. Yeah. Well,
While
definitely
under
at the same time,
influence
but
of drugs and alcohol.
right.
Yes. Yeah. So it's
Interesting.
it's the charm of the cities tends to be causing eruptions to happen. So
I mean, if you think about it, a lap dance is just consensual sexual mugging.
interesting. That's funny. I don't have a good mental layout of Las Vegas. I just know there's a main strip, the old strip, and then pretty much after you get outside of that, there's not a whole lot of condensed urbanization going on. So
No, I think it's one of those like you go like as soon as you get outside the strip, you have like 2 or 3 minutes, and then you are in the desert.
yeah,
And
So
none of the brothels actually exist within Las Vegas itself.
they're
No,
outside of the city.
they exist within Nevada.
Right. but they're illegal in the county of Las Vegas.
Isn't that strange?
Just legal everywhere else. Yes.
Yeah.
So weird. Anyway, so boy, would it still be like that nowadays with the Novas there? Yep, sure is.
Because that was Nevada, the city, trying to get like 1960s gangsters out, or not 1960s, 1950s and 40s, whatever the fuck prohibition was going on. It was them trying to get gangsters out, which is why they were
I guess
like,
it was back then. Yeah,
they were. That's
Yeah.
when they outlawed all the brothels and
20s.
everything.
Huh.
Which ironically is really funny because when you get out west, like past Missouri, the only reasons you had things like hospitals and schools were because of brothels.
Yeah. So yeah, they're just kind of milling over how they're going to go about helping the community, that sort of thing.
Don't look at me.
How they're going to help the community, how they're going to be, members and participating members and everything like that. So, and they really like the way you guys have things set up, so they would like to get something like that on their own. It'd be nice if they're kind of dream talking about having other hotels pay for their sort of accommodations, and then we can all work together and do stuff. And
Step
Voss-
one, you got to get out on a mission. You got to make a name for yourself.
So they start asking about Ramirez from you guys, if they could talk to him or what his full name is and everything.
To which Zeus 100% goes, yes, what is his name?
I pull out a card.
Hector Ramirez.
Yeah, we have several, and I also know his name. But I'm like, here, this is the easy way to give you that
Hector and
information.
Ramirez are the same guy?
That's funny.
There's a lot of sighing in this apartment. A lot of sighing.
And Blitz kind of takes a card. He's like, this isn't a bad deal. This feels like what I was looking for from the NFL when I was going into all that and missed out on it. Voss does not. She says, I'll still float around, but if I could crash here once in a while, that'd be great.
In
I don't
between
have
cruises.
to. I can always, in between
Yeah.
cruises. If I don't have to, I can always
No, it's fine.
buy a suite or whatever for the week.
No, you're always welcome.
Just let us know when you're coming.
I'll have Chroma Samurai forward
That's what I was to say. Somebody will let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, this was just a surprise. She was, it was a layover. She was here, and she heard about you guys doing the opening, and then had her tickets redone for tomorrow. So
Today.
right later on. So a little bit more hanging out, and then the group of 6 starts packing it in, and I guess even Seth's character would go do his thing somewhere. I don't remember where he was from or anything.
I have no idea.
Without doing a prelude, I just don't have any. I guess I don't have any
Considering we
information.
don't remember his name, yeah, I don't.
Is it on the phone?
Don't
Did he
know.
forward it to me? Because for a while it was the luck person.
Right. And
I think we discussed the luck person more than we discussed Blue Blur.
like the actual character he's playing. Because then we figured out the luck character wouldn't work really or do what he wanted it to.
Right. He still
Power
has
just
luck,
isn't
but it's
set up
not.
that way.
Yeah.
It's not Domino.
Correct. Because I think Domino would really be like a probability. There's a lot of other stuff going on. With
Yeah, there's a
create-
lot of it where she
sort of-
nudges probabilities to make things fall her way. I mean, that's really what she does.
Yeah, she calls it luck, but it's not actually luck.
It's almost
Right.
like
It's just ideal
seeing a
circumstances.
little bit in the future
yeah.
where she's making these choices and doing things. Well, I don't.
And it
have
may be
this-
subconscious, but it's still that's how her power
Yeah,
functions.
and I'd even say some of it's matter creation, where things are being created subconsciously to assist her. Because a lot of that stuff that just falls into place, you don't, it's not necessarily that it's going to be around later on.
It's one of those time travel loop kind of things where it's like it might have been there the whole time, you just didn't see it,
Right.
but
Right.
you don't actually know that it wasn't there,
Right.
You can't prove it wasn't there, so it was.
right?
Shoot. I guess I should start getting a copy of your characters to at least put in my files in case something like this happens where I have to look up something, and maybe I have it somewhere, just not remembering it. And of course, this is going to be a dead air part, which is going to piss me off later on. Like, why did I stop? Big T, a think that's his name, Big T. I have a picture of a character sheet called Big T.
Big Trouble Little Seth?
Let's see if that's correct. Yeah, he does have some armor and stuff too, so he can run really fast. Yep, Big T is his name. He's a gambler, so he's just here already. This is his hometown, I would assume. All right, so yeah, he takes off. Voss eventually wraps things up, and she takes off. She's got to get to where she's going. I think Hawaii or something like that. She's going somewhere big, and everyone else kind of breaks off. They, if we see you guys, if we hear you guys are going to be out, we'll try and find you guys, hang out. If you want to hang out with us, we'll send you text or whatever, an email if we're doing anything, or if we hear anything fun or interesting, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, it sounds great. It sounds great. Like, you are well aware with Seuss's, like, I'm shitting you voice at this point in time. You're like, yeah, he does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember these people's names.
Right. Blitz eventually gets up and dusts himself off from all the crumbs he's got on him. Puts on his jacket. He heads out with Voss. I'll split a cab with you. It's just whatever. I can pay for it. And they head out. So it's just you guys left in this place that is wrecked. It's not upside down, but it's not your normal Spartan clean.
Right, because everything in the central area is usually clean because I don't make messes and
Right.
you make different kinds of messes, but only in your personal space.
Yeah. No,
I assume most of this is like big marble tile floors that,
it's
polished to glass, and
it's-
now it's got footprints and fingerprints. And
It's definitely the
Other
for show
markings.
space that is not the actual living space.
so all the nice coffee tables that were all glass top.
Yeah, the
are
glass.
fingered
Yeah,
up
the
and
leather,
touched
the
up.
white leather sofas, and
it just as like you see like the scene just like pan through, like you start on the left side where you see Zeus's face. By the time you reach to the right side, he's powered down to Connor, and he's walked over to a phone and just like hit the front desk. Hi, yeah, this is the penthouse. We need a
emergency maid
deep
service.
scrub.
Not like somebody got killed, kind of deep, but a level above that.
No,
Firefighter yelling this over like the
Right?
buffet.
Yeah, she's not actually on that. She's
finishing
just
it
like,
up.
Yes.
it's like,
Yelling
meanwhile,
ridiculous.
Putting the shrimp on the
there's somebody who's
Waffle.
on the somebody. Is there a body? No. There's no body. But
They're very professional when you talk to them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're taking notes. They're asking little questions. Does the pool need to be drained and redone and everything like
please.
that? We'll bring the buffers up. We'll deep clean. We'll steam everything.
I'm debating a new couch.
Just throw it off the edge. Throw it off the balcony.
Ooh! Let me light it on fire before you do.
And then throw it off into the desert.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a new couch.
Nothing really got to the couch. You guys were
Right,
on the
no,
couch
no,
the whole
I'm
time.
not worried about that.
The only thing
Yeah.
that's on there is crumbs from Blitz eating his breakfast this
Right.
morning.
That can be
Yes,
vacuumed.
and
Right.
Connor's response is, "We may need a new couch."
Like, it's fine.
He was all dressed up.
Yeah. You make a normal like mess and clean it up.
Right.
Her and Blitz eat about the same.
We
Right.
do.
No.
She's
But
eating
it's
a lot more, and Blitz is being
but
just
she
normal.
But she cleans up after
This
herself a lot more.
this is the thing, because I am fastidious about. I will make a mess, but I won't let it sit.
Right.
Period.
Whereas like and Zeus is like also very, very tidy. And he's right now hiding in the back of Connor's mind, crying at the mess that's going on, which is why Connor's on the phone.
That's fine. Knock comes at the door. The gentleman who's doing the buffet walks over and answers it because he knows it's them. And they come in with the full, like 3 people come in with big carts, machines, and everything, and they start going to town. The pool people come in too, and they start doing their thing.
I probably go like hang out in my bedroom, like
Yeah,
because that door was closed for the festivities, and so
Same with Zeus Connor. It's like literally he hangs up the phone and doesn't even wait for a response. He just goes into the apartment.
Okay.
See, I made breakfast for myself and Voss, so I'm doing those dishes.
Okay. They come in and offer to do them. You hear them kind of talking to themselves, and they're like, "This isn't bad at all. We were expecting a lot worse." And the other day, when some rock band came through or whatever, they really fucked up the place. And so they seem mildly happy that it's not as bad as what they
Nobody
were expecting.
tried to throw the TV out the window.
Right.
It's fine.
When
But they do go top to bottom.
And when they say they're done, Zeus just goes, "No, do it again."
Roll your charisma and command. Or do you want to do etiquette to be nice about it? Because they do a pretty damn good job. They bring steamers up and steam the floors.
He'd be nice. It's not Connor.
Yeah. And they also take over doing the dishes from you and everything.
Single botch.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. What were you rolling? Command?
Charisma and etiquette.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it comes off badly.
So it literally comes out as, "Now do it again."
Can I come out and try to smooth that over?
He just closes the door and goes back. We might be getting robbed
It's
now.
not quite that calm and collected. You come out and see something, and you kind of start a rant about it before you realize halfway through that it's not actually something they messed up.
I thought there was.
You thought it was something, yeah, and you're
It's
locked
just that-
into it, and you just keep going with it. So
It's one of those like weird gray marble tiles. I just assume they scuffed it.
so you hear him like his voice gets boomy.
And I'm just gonna make sure that
I'd
I
say even electric, like your anima kind of goes off, and
Wait,
it's
yeah,
kind of scary, and you hear someone's kind of squeal.
I'm gonna tip everybody before they leave.
Okay.
Like a good $30 tip.
Okay.
Like
Do you tell him just leave after he goes back into his?
yeah, I'm like once
They're all
he's,
the
once he's
guys who are
done,
filling up the pool are like, "What?"
I'm like it's fine. Thanks for your help. Ignore him. He had a rough night.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the poor old lady, Mexican lady that
Right.
got her ass chewed out is like almost in tears.
a slippery 50.
She kind of just stunned. Someone else walks her out. She's just standing there.
I'm just like, ugh.
She's never seen lightning. She keeps something Mexican in Spanish, something lightning, something scary,
Something about
storm god,
devil chupacabra.
yeah, something
There were no
something
goats.
Aztec.
It's fine.
Yeah, she may have peed herself. She says at one point.
Slips into Nahuatl and like completely different language, like talking about the old gods.
Yep. So they cart her out. She may be working somewhere else for the next couple of weeks, but yeah,
I do
they're all
try
just,
to smooth it
quietly
over. Like I'm
okay.
just like, it's fine. Don't.
And one
Sorry
person
about
actually says,
that.
"If you want us to redo it, we can redo it."
No, it's spotless. You did a fantastic job. You just ignore him sometimes. It's fine.
Yeah, they get like a 9 on it.
Yeah.
10 to clean the damn thing up.
Right.
It's just that one spot he saw.
And it might not have even been a spot. It might have been a reflection that like looked like dirt from where you were standing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even think he saw anything.
Right, he was
He was
just
just
like-
like in his head about everything that had happened and how like dirty. There's huge air
Right.
quotes for people who are listening. That he saw things and he just decided, it's like, huh, do it again.
So he goes back in his room. You let them all go.
Yeah. No,
The pool's still filling up. It's going to take a while.
that's
but
fine. They were outside. They missed the brunt of it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I do my best to like, okay, yeah, damage control on that.
Too much people time.
Yeah.
They even like
Too close to his personal space.
There you go. Even the balcony, which has glass like walling up to a certain point, they have wiped down both sides of that. So they really did a good, thorough job on everything. Nope, they just cleaned your plates and everything. So, but they took everything else out.
Mm-hmm.
Place smells really great now. Smells spick and span. Nothing else happens. The evening kind of rolls up. Sun goes down. Everything cools off real nicely. I guess you guys would have some sort of automated systems in the house that are like putting blinds down when the sun's coming up. So the back doors open when it's a certain temperature outside and the cool air kind of comes in. And the pool's about filled up and it's steaming a little bit from the warmth. So nice music's playing. So it's up to you guys.
The thing is, like, you say nice music's playing, but at the same point in time, like, I know it's like a mellow metal power ballad because she picks the music.
Right. No, that's nice music. That's
Yep.
But it's like most people are thinking like some kind of like symphonic elevator. No.
No. It's still symphonic. It's just
It's just not elevator.
Right.
right.
But it's really low. So,
Right.
And it kind of wafts through the place. So as you're walking around, you're getting...
Pick something in actually in Swedish, which is harder than you'd think to find metal that is not sung in English, even though most of it comes from Scandinavia. But something that you can't understand the words to, so it kind of fades in the background, and it's...
Yeah. Not
That
quite
melody.
Sigur Rós, but it's a little more metal than that.
Yeah.
So you guys, he eventually comes out of his room,
Yeah, I'd say during at that point in time,
peeks out.
Not even. No. I would say during the time it's like where they were doing while she was schmoozing over, and also during the first round of cleaning, most of that time would have been spent as Connor going over the Chrome Samurai file on everybody and just reading up, getting to know everybody. This is when names are actually getting committed to Connor's memory.
That's fine.
And then when I come out the second time after all the cleaning people have it, this is just the standard disheveled Connor, where it's like, oh, okay, we're in the gray sweatpants and the baggy t-shirt.
There you go. It looks like one of the guys has mental powers, like a psychic shield, telepathy, and domination. This is one of the party animals, so when he parties, things get weird. The other guy, Johnny, has entropy control and disruption. So this is the goth guy. Turns things to dust, ages things real quickly, things like that. Ditto is the clone. She has flight and a lot of mega dexterity, but she loves to use guns and swords. So when she multiplies herself, it's like her own team of ninjas coming out of everything. Glenn Patel, the other high horse, does matter chameleon, absorption of energy, and mega strength on top of all that. So he's kind of their powerhouse tank. Brett Weber is a shapeshifter, does body modification, claws, and mega strength. So he kind of shapeshifts into whatever he needs. He's not green. This isn't the DC. What's his name?
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy, yeah. Elizabeth Copycat does, she's another moderate. She does quantum imprint, quantum leech, and flight. So she takes powers and then leech. She can also drain quantum out of people too. A lot like Rogue.
I was say, so she's Rogue after she gained Marvel's powers.
Yeah. But no invulnerability. That sort of thing.
Just the flight.
Yeah. So, but they're all pretty green, looking for something to do, and they're just floating around. It's like their friendship started. I want to say in New York at the Project Utopia when they all kind of erupted at the same time. They were all tested and put against each other. So it's like their alma mater graduated same time sort of thing. So, and that's it. That's all you could find on them. Nothing real crazy. Like I said, they're all independent, so none of them are really with Utopia. Haven't signed any paperwork like you guys just did.
Right.
They're like you guys a couple months ago.
Okay. Quick game question.
Sure.
Are we recovering willpower once a day or?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if it doesn't have that in whatever we're playing, I love to do that.
And
anyway.
It is an optional rule. I just wanted to, because I was like, I spent some willpower last session.
Every day.
So,
Yep.
okay.
And when you do something with your nature, you should get extra willpower back. So if you're a leader and you command people, you should get some back.
I gotta look up.
Are you a leader?
I'm
Zeus?
a paragon.
I'm a caregiver.
So there should be, you get an extra willpower point back for taking care of everybody after they got yelled at.
Okay.
Just remember that you can get a lot more back. You just have to remind me.
Right.
I think Paragon was kind of like leader, but also was like a little bit more.
Yes.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's usually like one line at the end of it, how to gain willpower points back. But, and you should be regaining your quantum at your normal rate, which is pretty fast for most of you. I think most of you guys have node, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just one, but that's enough to.
Okay. So evening's coming, and do you watch the news or anything like that, or
Connor would.
news?
I think at this point in time, Zeus is just like, I need some time to myself, and just retreats back into the mine, and just Connor's like, cool, I guess I'm out. All right.
So local news comes on, and it's a lot of coverage from you guys from last night. what's going on, and there's a lot of video, blurry video of your apartment layer from far away, where they're really not seeing anything, but they're just seeing movement, and a lot of speculation as to what's going on. They went back to their place, and are they planning something, another social event, things like that. They talked to the people who own the Obsidian Tower, and they are blown away. They're gushing about you guys, and we hope they come back, and maybe we'll see them tonight. We don't know, that sort of thing. We'll post out on the social media if they show up. Let everybody know we haven't seen them or anything, and the spotters haven't come back with anything. And at that point, Connor's like, spotters? People are watching for us to make moves.
There is like the eyebrow raised.
Right.
The eyebrow raised the blurry video. The eyebrow hit my forehead with spotter.
And they go to a couple clips of people talking on social media about seeing you guys, and they're 15, 17-year-old girls and guys that are super excited about you guys, and sharing every little snippet they see of you guys. They catch on their video phones they're posting. So
At that point in time, when it's like, oh yeah, they're just talking about us, he Connor would definitely be listening. But then when it's like, oh, it's the fans, flips over to like CNN and BBC, like what's going on in the world?
Crazy stuff's happening. There's the Middle East has always got some elites fighting each other, still going on. A lot of reports about the Terrigen, and if Divus Mall has come back, people are still doing op-eds on him. On some of the other people in the Terrigen, they keep following. It seems like they've factioned off into separate groups, and they're all sort of causing trouble, they like to say. Some are derailing trains. They're doing some pretty nasty stuff. But then they flip over to Project Utopia and some of the stuff they're doing, where they're fighting to help people out, a boat wreck or things like that, where they're swooping in to help out. The Manchester thing just gets mentioned offhand, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the universe and the world outside.
Right.
A lot of political shit going on. A lot of stuff about Slider, what happened to her, and op-eds on Corbin, that sort of stuff going on. So it is, in news is going crazy, and it's sort of filtering out into all the other news medias. In news does have information on you guys too, that every time you go out and do stuff, they're posting things too. And that's where the local TV stations are getting their news drop from. It's like they're the the press, whatever what's called. Not NPR, it's just the main news source that most people take their information from, and I can't think of the name of it offhand. It'll come to me later.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
Associated Press.
Yeah.
So that's what IN's kind of doing for everybody right now. So it's a little depressing with what's going on. You think things should be better, but just a lot of crazy stuff happening. Like I said, the Middle East is just a war zone pretty much right now, with Israel and the Arabic nations that are buying elites to combat each other in the middle of the desert. It's just like mountains are being flattened, courses of rivers are being turned on the, restructured and everything like that. So it's pretty intense. And you guys are in Las Vegas.
Yep.
So
I keep an ear out for any mention of the
plane disaster.
No, oh, that's interesting too. Yeah, the actual assassination of the president of Germany, and also did we manage to kill?
We didn't kill anybody.
We didn't kill anybody in Manchester. So the two we knocked one down, and then she picked him up and carried him away.
Correct.
So any mention of those two as well.
Mm-hmm. There are reports of them being back in the Middle East doing stuff. So they don't know if they're doing work for one side or the other, Israel or Palestine. They're not sure. But it seems like they've folded back into that part of the world, and things are happening that are reminiscent of their powers, but they're not for certain. The speedster thing is really hard to track down unless they're
Right.
have high-end cameras that can be slowed down. But like there's some weird outbreak of disease in some little towns, and they're not sure. Where
But-
everyone gets sick all at once,
Right.
like dead sick. What else? You do hear something about some weapons being used, and it sounds sort of familiar to that weird weapon during the bank robbery that you guys dealt with. They just got in and got cash and got out. So disintegrated a circle on the side of a bank and walked in and got the stuff and walked out.
Any further mention of anything like device gravity oriented, like what threw us up into the air in?
Yeah, because there's
No.
that weird
Okay.
gravity missile.
Yeah.
And there was nothing really about Germany, except for they've got some interim president working things out right now. It's like the country's still in sort of mourning for their president who was killed. Other than that, U.S. is just going through its stuff. I don't think anything is really insanely happening. There's some talk about some group in the middle of the country. It's like a Davidian sort of cult around a couple of Aberrants that is starting to sort of starting to form now, but they're not sure what's going on with that.
Of course, there'd be cults. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
actually demonstrate magical powers.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of
No.
Yeah.
all kinds of cults right now.
The gods walk among us again. Like,
Yeah.
that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ugh.
But you also have both sides of those. There's people that hate them and want to take them out and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a big data dump from watching all this. You guys haven't really been watching the news for a while.
Right.
So
That's
Ibiza's still doing its thing. I think his name was Cortez, big black guy that you guys met in Ibiza, who could be Terrigen, who could be freelance. He's been running around a lot lately. He's very visible in Europe doing his thing. So he's not fully divulged his
allegiances.
but he is very pro Terrigen, it seems like. Making a lot of apologies and stuff like that for him. And so the rest of the night kind of goes on and goes into the regular TV, which is all kinds of game shows and reality TV, and I Live with a Nova and all that stuff. And some of the reruns from, I guess there's Nova-esque looking shows and things like that. So night just goes on. It's up to you guys what you want to do. Cool night out. It's in the summer. The strip's lit up, so there's a nice glow outside your window.
Yeah, I think it's a Connor night. So basically, once the news gets resolved and they move into late night sitcom TV and things like that, he would go back into his own space. He'd probably try to start looking up more on the guy's name was Judgment.
Yes.
Probably start trying to look more up on him
Yes.
and just start building a file.
Okay. I don't think he went through Utopia. So he has come out of the middle of nowhere.
That's right, because they didn't even have a picture of him.
Right.
So
Right, and it's for that reason
no
that I would start.
interviews, no nothing with him.
But yeah, it's for that reason that he would start building like a file, a profile, like a profile. Like, okay, if he was this kind of guy, where these are the targets that he's at least taking credit for. Here's where we suspect what kind of trying to build like a movement pattern.
I think this would be where's investigation? Did they get rid of it?
It's under perception.
Okay, so it'd be perception, investigation, or intelligence and computer, whichever is higher.
It is the same.
Okay, it's a little bit of everything.
It is the same role.
Do you have any mega?
Not in intelligence or perception.
Okay.
neither of us have mega mental attributes, I don't think.
I have one mental attribute that is above a 2.
There you
Yeah. Mine are all 3s, but that's it.
She's smarter than me.
go. Willpower point. Well, you already rolled.
Yeah, I already rolled. What's the success?
7s are always successes.
I botched again.
Good Lord. You think this guy has come out of New Jersey and he was he moved out of New Jersey. He moved to Michigan, where he was activated by a sleeper cell, and that's where he got his start in. It's 2008, like a year ago. And his high school girlfriend may have dumped him at prom. You're like, this guy is just...
He's not Middle Eastern. He's Italian.
Right. You think it's just an act.
Oh my god. I'm not there for this.
No, you're not.
I've just
Once you hit on it, the trail it's like it lights up.
Right.
It's beautiful.
No, I think
How's no one seen this before?
oh my god.
The
Crumb
people-
Samurai, have you seen this?
The people at Utopia are idiots.
I think when he
This also fuels your paranoia of Utopia.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
For playing you as a sucker and sending you into these situations where you're just not prepared. Like they did it on purpose.
just more fuel to that fire.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. So
His real name's Walter.
In the
Walter
meantime,
Holmes. That's his real name.
yeah. Oh god.
it's got to be Italian. You think he's Italian?
No, it's Italian on his mother's side.
He's the one with the Minnesotan accent.
Yep, there you go.
No, he's from New Jersey.
The rabbit
Right.
hole just goes down and down.
He can fake it. I have taken my Jeep and I've just gone for a nighttime
fake,
drive
babe. Okay.
in the desert with no top because that
Nice.
sounds like a fantastic way to relax
That sounds
in
nice.
the desert skies.
You
Music
mean on the Jeep?
jammed.
Yes. Huh?
You said with no top. I said you mean on the Jeep, or you just really embracing that exhibition lifestyle. I mean, it is Nevada. So.
Yeah.
No, on the Jeep, I think.
Okay.
Might
I'm
get
not
a
putting
little
words
bit
in
cold.
your mouth. I'm just
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about being cold.
That's true. I don't. I burn hot.
And the Jeep is set up for you to possibly emulate for a little bit in the Jeep without it.
Hang on, I gotta warm this thing up. Don't turn the heater on. I just turned me on.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Jeep goes
double
out,
entendre.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm just gonna enjoy a desert night.
and that's exactly what it is. It is you and the Jeep, loud music.
Middle of nowhere.
Some moonlight nights. Yeah, crescent moon, so it's pretty dark. But it's gorgeous, like the stars are all out.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. This is nice. Just get away from everything, including him for right now. Like,
It's a montage of between the two, where it does the side slide, and it's him like pinning all these things to a note board, and like he has them bring up red string, and he starts like
Just getting angrier and
Yes.
angrier.
so mad. Would you contact Chrome Samurai out of your anger to see if he could help you, or see why no one's
No.
done anything, or
He's caught up in himself. Here's the thing: if I had just failed,
right?
yeah, no, I botched, which means I know I'm right.
yeah.
So this is the rest of your night.
Yeah,
Yep.
And it zips back. Actually, it's the meme of Julia Roberts where she's like, and all like the symbolisms, all the
yeah,
math
with the
equations.
math
equations are going by. They're scrolling up over his eye, over his face.
I am the Matrix.
Gets out his glass whiteboard and starts writing on it. Yeah.
God. In which you never leave the markings on. You always take pictures and then put them on your secured drives
Yep.
and then delete them off of your camera and erase them off the board so nobody can find them.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
being hidden for a reason. So
There's the reason my office is actually a panic room.
montage goes by for a while, and then it kind of ends with you eventually turning around and
Right.
going to bed. So
Right.
it's morning again.
Right. No, I come home for breakfast.
You walk in, and the breakfast buffet is set up, and you're like, score.
Fantastic. Time that.
I'm in the
Just
same clothes, which is not unusual for Connor,
Right,
but
no.
the exact same
You
clothes.
do look a little more rumpled than usual,
Yes.
though.
Yes.
Yeah.
The omelet guy is back behind the buffet, and he waves his whisk at you.
I wave with the hand still
Hello.
holding the keys. I'm like, yay!
Hello, Miss Firefly. I'm so glad you're over here this morning. Would you like to do the regular?
Let's see what else we have today. Let's get creative.
People kind of heart for you because I'm sure you're in some sort of recognizable form.
Yeah, at the very least, I have my coat on. Yeah. With all the pins from the Pride.
You are the talk of breakfast. Like people start coming down and they're quietly trying to ask for autographs and stuff like that.
As long as I can eat with one hand, I'm happy to sign things with the other.
Oh, so you're like downstairs eating. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like they wait
So
for
you
a
haven't
while.
even seen me yet.
Yeah. no.
They wait for a while, but they realize you're not stopping eating, and so they start. Little kids first start coming up, and then they get older and older and older.
And I'm polite enough not to talk with my mouth full. I just
Right.
spend half of my time not talking.
That's all right. They're happy taking pictures with you.
Oh, yeah.
Just can turn around. Some of you are content just taking a picture of your back, like thumbs up behind you. Are you still upstairs in your back cave?
So,
You wake up and you look at it.
I didn't go to sleep, man.
Oh,
Dude,
that's bad.
with a botch. No, I stayed away. Like at one point I left to go to the bathroom, make a little breakfast burrito, a pot of coffee, and then I went back to
Pot
it.
of coffee, yeah. Well, you've got mega stamina, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got 2 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need anything.
No, I don't
No.
need. The coffee's for
But it tastes
flavor
great.
and
Right?
Roll your perception and investigation again.
okay, yeah.
One more time. Let's see if this gets any better.
more time, we gonna celebrate. Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, there you go. That's not a botch.
Yeah, that is not about. That is a single success.
As you're standing there looking at your whiteboard and your other bulletin board with all the string, you notice, like, at the very first step, something doesn't match up. And you, like, pull it aside, and there's a Post-it note underneath it all that has it's a note about, it's got a date on it. And it says whole village in a question mark. And with a little bit more investigation, you realize at the very first step, you forgot to follow up on a small village in the Middle East that was overwhelmed by this poisonous sort of disease. It wiped everybody out in like 20 minutes. And as you start like going through and getting back to that starting point, you're like, oh, fuck.
I hit it with a lightning bolt.
This glass whiteboard explodes, and energy is just crackling all off of him, and his hair kind of stands up first. Connor's hair stands up for a second as it. But yeah, it's the same thing you just saw earlier on the news, where a small town in the Middle East is just wiped out from some horrific disease, and they've got a quarantine and everything. Yep. And it's almost the same looking pictures of the people who had died mid-step. Like, it was that bad.
And it was and also that obvious that it was. So, I
And it's a good thing
Hit it
everything
with
everything else is very fortified for electricity, that it's not going into like the lights and everything.
yeah. Again,
Breakers start popping in the room.
We've figured out surge protectors by now.
Yes.
this is in the panic room for a reason, because sometimes the panic is me.
Yeah. So the bulletin board with everything, you're like, it all falls apart.
Yeah. No. I spend the next however long cleaning it up, because no one comes into this room to clean except for me.
And the embarrassment that it's that when you keep thinking about, you almost called Chrome Samurai and how embarrassing that would have been. So it makes it even worse. And it's just like tearing things apart and ripping them up.
Yeah, double botch. I would have been calling to convince him that I was right.
God, yeah.
Single botch. I'm just right, and I don't need to tell anybody.
Yeah. And you also like write down a note to like triple check something before you get 4 steps beyond, and post that right on the top of your laptop or whatever you got. So the morning, you come out.
I come back upstairs at some point and be like, how was your night?
I'm drinking from the pot.
And not from the side, from like
No, yeah, from like the spout into the...
It is just the mug. Just it's fine.
Right. I'll go take a shower.
There you go. Little kids are giving you little things, little pictures of yourself for bracelets and stuff, and so you got them all wadded up in one hand.
Right.
Yeah, you're pretty upset. You need to go out to the veranda, stand and look over the city. Morning sunshine's coming on. Feels kind of nice.
No, I don't think I do that, because the thing is, if I'm going to go outside, I got to put Zeus on.
Maybe.
Especially now that he knows that there are spotters.
Oh no, 100% now that I know there are spotters.
Or that keeps, well, yeah, I guess you're trying to keep him hidden. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if there are other people who are not like, yeah, if it's not Firefly, it's Zeus. That's why it's like if I'm in Connor form, so it's like, and Connor right now is out of fucks to give to put in the effort to look like Zeus. He's just on the couch, pissy.
Which is why I mostly ignored you and just was like, I'm gonna go take a shower.
Oh, that was the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Desert's pretty dusty, and Jeep throws up a lot of dust. It was great. There was this beautiful cliff that I found, and it was a good night. I don't know what you did, but I don't really care either. So,
did you even ask?
No,
you came in.
Yeah.
I'm drinking from the pot, completely disheveled, and my response was, "It was fine."
yeah, I asked how your night was. I didn't ask what you did. Then I went, This is why this relationship actually works. Because I don't pry.
There you go.
You don't pry. Connor doesn't care.
Right, yeah.
Zeus is just living his best life.
Yeah.
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 How's Zeus recovering today from everything? Would he have taken over from Connor? Would Connor lost his shit and wanted to retreat? Would they have swapped places because of that? Or would they be doing it right now?
He's probably in the process of doing it.
Like he doesn't feel like doing anything. And so he just like retreats and then Zeus pops out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be something like that. But it's also one of those like Connor definitely feeds off of his own negative emotions.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he can still feel them inside.
Yeah, I know. But it's definitely one of those like, there's that voice in the back of the head. It's like,
does he need to be seen though? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like you should,
especially if she like totally blew him off and was like, whatever.
Well, and that's kind of where it's going. It's like the voices in the back of the head. It's like, hey, she went out, she got seen. People are going to expect Zeus to go out and do something.
Yeah, I could see Connor walking toward the glass doors, and being like, "Fuck, spotters," and Zeus like, "Spotters?
Yeah,
I'll take over if you want me to."
Well, that's the thing is they're still thinking that the other one is the costume. They haven't made that connection yet that there's two brains in there. Spoilers for everybody listening.
I haven't been seen on the veranda in at least 2.5 days.
Yeah, so he's going to go.
Looks like the camera angle was from over there and over there.
Yeah, so he's going to go shower. He's going to put on just like the whitest white dude outfit. So I'm thinking like a neon pink polo with some white khaki shorts that come above the knee. Some like
this is Connor doing this.
No.
I was like, holy shit.
No. This is Zeus.
Okay.
So like I said, we made that transition, so it is going to be Zeus. Gonna get a kind of like a cream colored visor. Put that on his head. After he's showered, and then so it's like now it's probably about like 2 p.m.
Okay.
That's when Zeus finally makes his appearance, and he's got like generic light beer. Like it looks like a Bud Light ad is what he's going for.
Sounds good.
And he just 100% goes out to like one corner where like he thinks is a good place to get spotted from, and does like a pose and drinks his beer
with the
label out.
Oh yeah,
label out. Yep. Slowly drinks and
like the laces.
Sun glinting.
Label out.
Yep.
He's wearing Oakleys.
Make your style report. Style. This would be your appearance and style.
3.
Yeah, it's still pretty good. That's
No. What's disappointing?
If you'd botched that would have been impressive.
No, what's disappointing about this?
Going to a coma.
This little slice of life shit.
Yeah.
Is where I exceed.
Go out and you do your posing and stand there for a while. Yeah. It's all good.
Later, you're going to see that picture that was taken and be like,
Oh, I
thought I
forgot.
looked better than that. You've got mega
I got mega appearance.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that
didn't
doesn't
help,
get me anything, but
but-
still.
All right. You can always lower the difficulty too if you want with that.
Oh God,
It does good. Does good. Does what you needed to do.
Makes you feel better about being you.
Yeah.
About being Zeus. Makes me feel better about being Zeus.
I should have specified. Yes, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. Afternoon sun. It's nice and warm out. Feels really good. You're inside, listening to music, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Day goes on. Not much is happening.
Zeus would probably between, as I say, about 2 in the afternoon, probably between 2 and 4, actually go do like an afternoon, like on the strip, just kind of like walking around. And by walking, it's him flying, but only 10 feet off the ground, so people could easily see him. You know,
But they can't easily run up for autographs.
Right.
exactly.
Sounds good. This is let's do style again. If you want to reduce your difficulty, you can.
Yeah, I'll reduce it.
Sometimes that's more helpful. So 6 is your...
That worked out.
Oh yeah, I didn't need to reduce it.
Nope.
I got 6.
There you go. That's amazing. It's the talk of what's going on. Stops traffic down the strip as you're doing this.
Because I'm just like you. Because I'm wearing the everyman clothes as far as as far as Zeus is concerned.
Sympathetic lightning is arcing off you onto buildings, into street signs and everything, and people are freaking out. Yeah, the whole strip.
Yeah.
Slowly floating down.
And this external love and admiration is what Zeus feeds off of. So right now, literally, I have both of my personalities.
You're doing the recharge,
Are
yeah.
getting fully recharged off of
Yeah.
this.
So, what is the Paragon thing? We got to figure that out.
I think I have the wrong nature.
You may have to change it. Yeah.
It's for the great. Whenever I do something for the greater good,
Yeah.
I definitely had one thought in mind.
Yeah. We got to get you a nature that fits
I almost need like 2.
showmanship or something.
I almost need like 2. because I
You
need one
will
for-
need 2 later. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I actually like need the second sheet for
Yeah.
one of the guys. But yeah, it's like a 127 are the actual natures in the normal book.
Ooh. Let's see. Might be gallant. Gain willpower whenever your deeds are particularly impressive, awe-inspiring, or likely to land you smack in the center of attention.
Yeah, that's Zeus.
Hedonist. That's just you having a good time no matter what everybody else. That's not really...
That's not him at all.
I'd say thrill seeker, traditionalists don't really fit either. Yeah, it might be gallant. I'd say we can do that whenever the split happens. That's part of the...
Because right now they're both trying to do greater goods. They just have very different ideas about it. And honestly, the fact that they're not that neither of them are able to agree on what the greater good is and how to accomplish it could be into that split.
What would Connor go out as?
That's what I'm looking at. With the significant critic pointing out flaws that would have been harmful had they been overlooked. That might be one. Ooh, conniver. Gain a willpower where you trick someone into doing what you want.
Yeah. I'd say visionary could also be if he has a vision of how the world should be.
Yeah.
And that would take the Paragon part away from you. Yeah, it's up to you. It's something to think about.
He also has authority problems, so maybe rebel.
That's him. That's more. It seems like that's how you're playing him.
Yeah. Yeah, so when that split happens, it'll be Gallant and Rebel, definitely.
Nice. So yeah, this scene goes on for a while of adoration and people oohing, ahhing. Lots of offers to come to their clubs, like people trying to get you flyers and stuff like that. A lot of people taking pictures of you as you're floating around.
On one of the noticeable clubs, like I definitely like lower and get into like a reclined position as I float backwards as I read the guy's card.
You read it. It is. It's a club that's been around for a while. It's kind of old school, and you think this may be on par, rival-wise, with the Obsidian Tower, which you just did the opening for. So they're trying to scoop you to get you to show up and maybe lessen their thing. You think it's not on the up and up, but is there one for the Obsidian? And you do, like, as soon as you take their card, like, you see someone from the Obsidian Tower, like, hey, when are you coming back, man? When are you coming back? You guys were awesome.
Soon. It was great.
And when you acknowledge him, he freaks out. Whoa! He said hi to me, and he starts talking to other people, and people are like, oh, he talked to you.
I land next to him. I take his phone. I snap a selfie for the two of us.
He is so happy. He's sweating like
Yeah,
instantly.
I post it to his Instagram. I tag myself. I
my
hand
God.
it back to him.
Oh my God. He kisses your hand as you're handing it back. And people are like, oh,
This is acceptable.
Oh my God.
Like it It's like no one's done that to him before, but it's like I've never known I've needed something until it happened.
I may have to get a ring they kiss with a lightning bolt on it.
Oh yeah. No. No, this is going. It's like, yeah, I could get like a diamond. We could get like, if I can find one that's got specifically yellow flaw that's kind of lightning bolt shit. Like he's planning this now.
Floats off out of the strip thinking about it. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Do you fly back, or do you?
Yeah, I'll fly back.
Finch goes back to the veranda and lands, walks in.
If you're outside, I'm in a much better Zeus
You see
mood
him
right
go by
now.
your window as he's flying to the veranda.
I may be probably just hanging out in the pool.
Huge grin
Like,
on his face.
I don't usually swim, but it's
That's
a nice day
nice.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a relaxing kind
After
of
seeing everyone
couple
else
days.
playing in the pool,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
And especially since he's not around, like, to be in the pool right now, I'm like,
Oh, Zeus has yet to get into the pool.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Pool / jacuzzi has a
Right.
cordoned off little area.
Just enjoying my alone time for a minute.
Music's really loud when you get back. Yeah, come back. Everything's nice. Doing your own thing. Any other messages? The phone and the emails have been kind of busy today. When he gets out and starts doing his thing, people are tagging back.
Yeah, for the first couple of notifications, I probably got up and looked, and then I went, oh, it's all about him. And I'll ignore the rest of them and for a while.
Chrome Samurai pops on. Oh, your boy's out again. He's doing his thing. He like starts posting like analytics of like hits across the web and what's going on. He's having a fun time. The club, the Obsidian Tower, posts and tags into everything the pictures and everything. So it's all over their like media, and like he gets back and he's like talking about it and doing videos and stuff. So yeah, he's really over the moon. Maybe we'll see him tonight. Maybe I don't know what's going on. So comes back. He's glowing, lightning a little bit.
Literally.
Lands, lunch, dinner comes up. The next couple of days kind of roll into this just doing public appearances, relaxing. Again, you're still a little bit out from the Manchester thing, so it's
Yeah, this is,
nice, relaxing.
yeah, kind of taking advantage of the downtime.
Right. If you go back to the club, then some of the other people show up again and hang out.
Yes, we're starting to get back to that feeling of normalcy
Right.
that happens after tragedy and
Right.
Still, yeah, couple. It becomes a mix of nights in the desert and
Right.
nights hanging out in being the center of attention and just sort of keeping a balance while trying to get back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys go. Do you guys go out to the Obsidian Tower? Any other places for the next couple of days? Just here and there, make a little appearance, or
not Obsidian because we just did that. The place that didn't seem like you said, like I'd have to be like. Now, when you say like they weren't reputable, like they've got to like, because if it's something like oh they're like, it's very much like oh this place is synonymous with like, you know, drug deals or getting raided or something like that, then Zeus absolutely would not appear there.
no.
But if it's just like, hey man, we need a bump, you know,
that's kind of what it is. They haven't ever used Novas. They haven't like posted that they're anti-Nova or anything. But they just have never done it until they saw the success from Obsidian Tower.
then yeah, I'd probably post up there. If they're on par with Obsidian, then I'd probably again.
It's not. It's an older place. It's been around for a while, so it's a lot of crushed red velvet on everything. They don't really have a decent setup for music and all that stuff. It's older. It's been around for a while. It's pre-Nova age.
Okay, so yeah, when I show up there, you know, it's like I do a steak dinner. It's a really nice scotch. Oh no,
Right. Yep. Like I said, it's not as glamorous. The music's not as great. Sound system and all that stuff. It's just
When asked for a quote, I say it's a great place to relax.
there you go. There you go. Make your wits and biz. Any mega wits you have, you use that too.
Oh, I don't have mega wits. I'm pretty. Whew, it's a good thing I got that 9.
My God.
It's a good place to sleep. I mean, relax.
Hey, no, that's a success.
No. How many ones did you have out of that?
2.
Holy cow, that could have been terrible.
That would have been horrible.
Burn the place down. Yeah, you say some nice things. You've seen nothing crazy. Nothing goes off the rails. You sign a few autographs. That's about it. They tend to keep... They're not keeping people away, but they're maintaining some sort of order. So when people act like they're getting ready to come up and talk to you, they say, wait till he's done and all that stuff and kind of moderate everything. It's an older crowd.
Yeah.
So, but people come up at the end, get some autographs, go back. It's pretty nice. Let's see how the food is. Food's all right. Nothing crazy. Definitely not a 4-star, 5-star, eating thing. So
That is probably like, I would want to make a couple of appearances, hang out here and there. And I probably base those literally on the food ratings and places and seeing like what is purported to have the best food.
Yeah.
And whether or not that is accurate.
Yeah.
And will they feed me as much as I want to eat?
you haven't had any turn downs yet, basically.
Yeah. And
They'll
I'm
take
willing
the
and I am
publicity.
willing to do the publicity in order to get the food, but that is the trade-off that I make.
It works out.
Yeah.
So like I said, the next couple of days, just this sort of happens. She's doing her own thing. You guys are kind of seen separately at different locations. So it's not one big rush like it was at the Obsidian Tower.
Yeah.
And again, you do run into a few of the other people. Is Blitz still in town? Blitz is nowhere to be found. But the others, you run into them here and there, see them. Like you're going in, they're leaving, and they just kind of wave.
Yeah,
to see
definitely
you again.
acknowledge presence
Right.
and pleasantries are exchanged. Did you say Ramirez was moving here
Yes. And I rolled really low on his...
when he would
he's
get
getting
here?
there, yeah.
Okay.
So he is uprooting his entire life, maybe family.
Okay.
Yeah. From what you understood, he had settled down in London, and now he's moving to Las Vegas.
Well, that's going to be a shock for him.
No,
No, literally, like climate-wise, it's going to be a shock.
intelligence and bureaucracy.
Oh, that's adorable.
And nope. Intelligence.
Both of you?
Yep. Just oh, holy shit!
Mega intelligence, anybody?
No, but I got 2.
I got one.
You guys, as you're talking about it one evening, like, he's moving here. I don't know when he's moving here. And you're going over it, and suddenly something Connor in Zeus's head says something about his failures with us. Maybe why he's being shipped out of London. He's probably been demoted, maybe. And that's why he's winding up in the States in Las Vegas with his family.
Ouch.
So it all kind of like, oh, shit. So if whatever conspiracy thing is going on, he may have just gotten in trouble for it or taken the fall for what's going on. But it doesn't seem like it's that bad of a deal if you guys got getting set up like that.
Right, like we're still set up really nicely, so it can't be too bad. But still, there'll be a little bit of guilt and wanting to make him
And
happy.
It's not
when he gets
all
here.
your fault.
Right.
It's part of him not... His intel wasn't complete for everything. And that's what Connor is like, oh.
Oh yeah, Connor doesn't feel bad at all.
No.
Connor looked good. But also, Connor is at the same point in time. It's like, hey, now.
It wasn't on purpose.
If
If it was on purpose, it was a really dumb decision.
Right. Well, Connor, of course, Connor doesn't believe in accidents.
And Connor probably does some intel on him and finds out his family's moved there and all that stuff. Bought a nice house and went up for sale. It's not selling it. It's asking price, that sort of thing. So
Yeah, I got to bump up computers, so I'm not going to be able to bump up intelligence just so I can start getting better investigation. Because right now,
You don't want to get smarter, but you want to be able to make those rolls a little bit.
Yeah.
enhancing.
Yeah.
Enhancing. It looks like he knows what he's doing. I don't know. I don't think he just pressing buttons. Anyway. So
Never mind.
So yeah, you think you've suddenly come together and figured out that he's been dinged for the not great success in planning, and that's kind of his role. So, rest of the night goes by fine. Eventually, you do one afternoon. Let's see what day it's on. It's on a Sunday. You guys get a call from Ramirez, and it looks like he's at home in a bedroom that's being packed up. And he says, we just got word that something may be happening downtown around the Obsidian Tower. That there has been some Terrigen movement in the area, and they seem to be converging on the tower.
Have there been direct threats?
They think it's a direct threat.
Okay.
We think it's a direct threat from
Right,
Racing.
but there haven't been specifics or
No.
just that there's
there
activity?
are 2 Terrigen members called Bear and Dog, and they're heading for that area. And we think that we've found some communication that they may be targeting the Obsidian Tower.
Okay.
Do we have a power set?
They think one of them is where'd it go? I think one of them has control over gravity, and the other one is elemental mastery, like high levels. Like they're tainted the fuck out. He thinks they're pretty corrupt looking.
I perk up at the mention of gravity, and we need to go check that out.
So their ETA is
Their names are Bear and Dog.
about 13 minutes out.
Do we know which has which power?
We think Bear has elemental mastery and Dog has gravity. They both wear masks, and that one has a bear mask and one has a dog mask, and that's how they do their thing. We don't know if their faces are all
That's fine.
grossed out because of their taint, but their power levels jumped really quickly in a very short amount of time, and it's also affecting some of their powers.
Okay.
Okay.
So they are not alpha level threats, but they're pretty powerful. So we don't know if there's a team or another group that's in the area already. They may be mobilizing. We don't know.
Okay.
But they're usually on the world stage. So he's like, that's all we know. Good luck. And he clicks out.
I go fast change.
Do you want Bear or Dog?
I really desperately want to not hear them with Russian accents in my head. Because that's all I've been doing this whole time. It's like moose and squirrel,
Yep.
but bear and dog.
Yep.
And anyway, I don't know. Whatever one's whatever one keeps me on the ground because I can't fly.
So I think it was Dog had the gravity.
Dog was gravity.
Okay, so I guess I've got Dog.
Yep.
You get to play with a bear.
I'm okay with this. Bears burn.
All right. She goes and changes.
Yeah.
I imagine like we've got like an intercom system, and like Zeus is also getting changed
Right, yeah,
just
we're
over the intercom. We're having this discussion very casually.
Yep. You
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, in that montage you see, changing out of clothes that go immediately into the clothes hamper like they don't. They bypass the floor and the bed. Dirty laundry hamper, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, it's Zeus, so it's the exact same.
For different reasons, but same
Both have
effect.
big walk-in closets.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
like he's got one hamper that's got like it's literally just like whites, another one for delicates, and then a third hamper for colors, and then there is a fourth hamper that has clothes near it. That's Connor's.
That's good. There you go.
Meet back up, and you're flying, so let's go.
Yep.
Okay. Are you carrying her, or
Oh yeah, no. The way I kind of imagine this is I put like I like straighten one of my legs, and she puts both of her feet on that one foot, and then I just around somewhere on the torso, and Superman it.
okay?
When I'm
Take it
feeling
off.
like having fun, I Superman it with the other arm because I've got the cloak. The coat
Yeah.
is a long coat, so it capes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I've got a cape, so
Yeah.
like
You guys arrive about the time you hear these sonic booms, and they kind of come into view, and they stop. And one's carrying the other one, and he drops down real fast, and you start hearing someone's voice come out over everything else, and the voice says, "We stand for us. We stand for Novas. We are gods. Bow down to us. We do not bow down to to you blanks. We are the new gods. Hear us roar. And with that, the earth starts shaking and shit starts happening. They are dressed shirtless, black pants, big black boots, and they've got these weird masks over that cover their entire head.
We are new gods. Hear roar.
Yep.
You're not helping my Russian accent problem. Yeah, I mean, get me down.
Yeah, so depending on how this entrance is going, I imagine I kind of like get within 15 feet of the ground and just drop her and then swerve towards
Okay. They're both sort of at
the
a
flyer.
corner. Yeah. They're both sort of at a corner of the building, and they're basically attacking it. So with gravity waves and with elemental mastery of Earth Elemental, it's just like it starts crumbling immediately, and people are screaming and running pretty much everywhere.
Oh, cool. I have an opening move that I will do probably need to slow down and do initiative. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
It does happen.
Is this the game we figured out the initiative happens every turn, or is that?
I think they all happen. Well, yeah.
Because I remember there was a thing, and we've looked it up,
Right.
and then we realized that was a thing, and I don't remember if that was this game or the other one.
Should probably happen in both games. I have a
Every
feeling.
turn. Yeah, I think so, too.
But we've just been doing the easy thing. Once you get in the roll, kind of
Right.
keep shifting, unless you have something that wants to
Right.
jump you up. Or
And I don't think I do, so I was just like, I thought that I remembered we looked at that and went, oh, right.
yeah,
Haven't been doing that.
it happens.
I have initiative written on my character sheet.
So I'm just quickly sketching out corner of the building.
The
Yeah,
index is less than useful. I went to look up initiative, and it's got a page number marked. And that page number is just the end of character creation where it says to fill in your initiative, not actual combat system initiative.
Huh.
I know it's in here. It's just not linked in the index.
Yeah.
I like the popcorn. Do we just want to go with that for now? And we'll...
Right?
And it is.
I got it. Yeah, it's stage 1 of every turn is initiative, so.
Okay.
And it's 1 die index, and it's 1 die plus your initiative score. That was the thing I was really looking up.
All right. So there's the map. They're both sort of straddling the corner. One's on one side, one's the other. And they're both focusing their powers on each side of the corner.
Okay.
The sidewalk's a little tiny.
Which way are we coming
Side.
from?
You're coming straight down on them, so it's kind of wherever you guys want to place yourselves.
You wanted Bear, so I would have aimed you at him.
Yeah,
so
drop me somewhere behind Bear. Yep.
just
Or do you want to be more in the intersection? It's up to you guys. Because your range
Well,
on
he
your
can
stuff
drop
is
me,
just
and then
crazy.
he can just sort of fly a little bit off to the left, and I guess to the right. But yeah, even Firebolt has enough range on it that it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, I've got
But I
range
want to
for
drop
days.
behind Bear and go, oi!
Ozzy, oi, oi, oi.
So we have A4.
Isn't your... Oh, fuck. What was
Fire-
Not at all.
Firefly
Bethany,
and Zeus.
that's what it is.
Yeah. Or
big ol'
Firefly.
F, yeah.
Go with the F because there's already a B for Bear. There's an A anywhere in my name. I mean, the
Fanny.
second. Anthony. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Initiative.
It is initiative. 13.
16.
15.
There you go.
Foist.
So you set her down, you get over to where you're going to be, and they have no idea you're there.
Storm.
Okay.
So it's my dice pool is my wits plus my elemental mastery. I create a giant storm-like effect. They take, let's see, 2 bashing damage.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why I would roll for this. But anyways, because it's like,
Is it for the duration?
no, duration is constant. Oh, well, duration is concentration. So maybe, I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, it says for each turn, storms typically inflict 2 levels of bashing damage per dot in the power rating,
Okay.
and reduces the opponent's dice pool by 2,
Okay.
and halves movement and visibility and vision.
Okay.
Other effects are up to the storyteller's discretion, based on common sense views of the effects of the element. So mine would be lightning.
Yes.
So I don't know if it wants to move from bashing to lethal or whatever. For example, in an earthquake, athletics, or let's see, through a blizzard or earthquake, anyone might have to make an athletics or flight roll to keep from slipping or falling.
Okay.
And they risk. I'm not going to attempt that word. Anyone in a firestorm would take lethal damage instead of bashing.
Okay. I think the roll there is for if you were to fight with someone else who had it, like if you both were doing contested sort of stuff.
So, okay, and I have 4 dots in elemental mastery, so they take 8 lethal, or there are 8 dots of lethal. So, and this would be energy based off of whatever powers they have to absorb or negate.
Sounds like the dice pool is just there to make sure you make the power work successfully. It says the dice are rolled to determine whether the power is used successfully as well as the effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's basically just do you get the power off
Whitson
correctly?
Okay.
I was looking up a different thing, but I happened to be on the page with that written.
Yes, I got successes. I got successes for days.
Okay. That's all you need. So it is a lightning storm. So it's just lightning.
Yep.
Out of almost no. Well, I guess it'd be out of view instead because there is no storm. Like there's no weather mastery going on.
We are in the middle of the desert, though. You could conceivably pull it out of the static electricity in the air.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming from him. It's just
everywhere.
So yeah, electricity's going off everywhere at this point.
Yeah. So I drop her on one side. I come up behind Dog on the other, and then it's just like the most cinematic, lightning user thing ever, where it's just like wild bolts just shooting off out of me.
Yep.
And it would affect both of them.
Yes.
Because the range is definitely quantum plus power rating times 10 meters.
Yeah, that's how far you can throw it.
And area is quantum plus power rating times 5 meters. Yeah. So
you can do this at a distance and have the area just light up.
Yeah. So we're looking at about a 45 meter area. Yeah. So
there are people down here, so I don't know if you want to concentrate.
I don't know if you want to
I'll concentrate it as much as possible over us, but it's like...
And I'm not immune to that, so...
It specifically says foes, so...
Does it?
Yeah. Well, it says foes take the damage, but you would have...
Anyone moving through the blizzard or earthquake might have to make an athletics or fight roll to keep them from slipping and falling, and they would risk hypothermia. Anyone in a firestorm would take lethal damage instead of bad. I think it's just everybody.
No, all right. Well, I'm going to center it over them.
Except for you. You're good. You're fine.
I will center it over them.
Okay. Go ahead and write your, put on the map the area you're affecting. Because there are folks that are running around. Chunks of the building start coming down, glass. I assume this thing is like made out of beautiful glass that's smoky and everything. So they start exploding when they're doing their stuff. And so this lightning is coming out of nowhere and vaporizing everything.
Why are you helping them destroy the building?
And they both kind of crouch down when your stuff starts going off and their powers stop. All right. So that's Mary.
You said you were looking for gods. I got intimidate.
You do? You can roll it.
And I get my mega appearance with this. So I'm going to decrease the difficulty. 4.
That's pretty good.
I need to do more appearance-based things.
Yeah, I'm going to, because I'm right behind him and now he's in the middle of a lightning storm, but the bear and dog, I'm going to spend my turn immolating, and I'm going to yell at him, why not try to destroy something that can fight back, and then dramatically burst into flames.
Okay.
Trying to get his attention.
They're both like crouching down because the lightning is just everywhere.
Right.
So go ahead and make your intimidation roll. That is...
Appearance intimidation.
Yep.
And I'll lower the difficulty because I've got 1 in mega appearance. I got 3.
3?
Yep.
3 does it. They kind of turn. You see one of them turns around and you see his very human eyes in the mask, and it's a little creepy. And it's his eyes look funny. They don't look quite human. All right, so that's you two.
Oh, I don't have to roll to do that. I can just light myself on fire.
Yeah, I was going to say
regardless of anything.
Anything you want to do? You want to do quantum bolt while you're?
No, it would require multiple actions. So I.
Oh, okay.
I wanted, yeah, because I can do them both in turn, but it would require declaring multiple actions.
Okay.
So I'll just try to get their attention right now and then.
Okay. All right.
Plus, it seems a little bit on the somewhat wrong side to attack while the attack is turned. I'm going to get their attention first.
This is how I get their attention.
There you go.
It's fair.
All right.
Be different if they were beating up on a person instead of a building.
I would not be using a lightning storm.
We have different methodologies. It's fine. We're not working at cross purposes.
All right. They both turn around in this lightning, and you see like a sphere around one that pushes all the lightning away. And the other one holds his hands up, and chunks of earth come out of the ground and start swirling around, and they're forming the same sort of thing. And whenever the lightning starts to arc and hit him, it hits a piece of concrete or asphalt. And that's all they do. And they both stand upright with their fists clenched and basically face off with each one of you. And they don't say anything. They have no sort of style or anything to do anything with. So it is initiative again.
Same initiative.
They got 15 this time.
That's what I have.
Nah, 11.
Okay. We'll let the player go first. In a tie. They're going to attack you each.
Okay,
that's basically what's going to happen. So.
That was my only hesitation. Was
yeah,
like, are they actually going to attack? Yeah, because declare and then yeah. Okay, well, if they're going to attack, I'm going to attack.
Okay.
And I toss a.
I assume that's what everyone's just doing. Is
right.
attack each other.
Yeah, that's fine. That was the only thing I wanted to make sure of before I just started throwing fire at somebody, and then I throw a firebolt at Bear. I am not strafing.
Okay.
Or spraying. No, I'm just regular fireball. Spending the quantum, rolling the dice. I'm just going to roll the mega.
Okay.
More than enough range. 7s or successes? Is that
Yes. It's all 7s across the board.
Yeah, I got 3.
Okay. He's not dodging. He's not going to deflect to a dodge or anything. So
Okay.
deflect to a dodge. He's not going to revert to a dodge.
Okay. Yeah. Default or dodge or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So 1 comes off to hit.
Yes.
And then, yeah,
The
the
rest
rest roll
roll
over. All right. So he takes 6 automatic lethal damage from the fire.
Okay.
And then I roll another lots of dice.
Okay.
Quantum times 2 lethal, yes. I think I highlighted something by accident that was the wrong
right.
formula, but I have it written down correctly. Just double checking. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And we're still looking for 7s.
Yes.
Okay. 6 lethal damage.
Takes off.
10s don't do anything on damage, do they?
I don't.
I can't see how they would. It's not like a attribute roll or specialty roll,
Correct.
right? Okay, that's fine.
Oh, it does some damage. And you're on dog, right?
I'm on
You're
bear.
All right. All right. He stands there, and it looks like he's taking it fine to that last little bit, and you see some of his mask like burn, and his face burns with it. And he turns his face to the side, and you hear him growling.
I do one of those where I take like half a step forward and like do the dramatic pose of bring it.
All right.
This may not go well for me, but right now I'm on fire, so fuck it.
Give me a hug.
All right.
I did not save anything to defend.
Okay. I'm trying not to have a Russian accent with these guys too. It's terrible. You guys are terrible.
It's only because of
It's
Bear.
It's and it's because bear is second. If it was bear and dog, it wouldn't be so bad. But because it's dog and bear, like it, I want to put the Russian on it.
It's dog and bear.
You might look up Clench real quick because he is using Imprison.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. And it's the ground literally just reaches up and grabs you up to your neck.
Oh, that'll be over here actually.
And he says something like, "It's time to put your fire out." it just crumbles up.
Close combat maneuvers.
There you go.
Tackle, strike, hold, disarm, clinch.
And basically, this thing has twice the might and the number of successes it rolled, so it's got 10 might automatic. The trapped character may break out of it just as he would from a clinch.
Okay.
Imprisoned. He does spend the extra Nova point to do lethal damage, like in a clinch.
Okay.
So what's the damage on a clinch? Is it might?
It's strength. Strength +2 for the damage.
So it's 10. It inflicts damage as it would in a clinch with the might roll. Fighting animal has a might equal to twice the number of successes.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
And normally it wouldn't do any damage if you don't want it to, but he spent the extra quantity
Right.
point.
And that's fine. So I'm defending against 10?
10 lethal, yeah.
10 lethal, okay. And then I can try to escape with a resisted
Correct.
brawler
Correct.
martial arts.
I think it's just an automatic get you, and then you spin to break the clinch. Because
Yeah,
it says
on
you
her-
just automatically take this damage. It skips ahead, so...
Yeah, that's fine. It's a power, so I'm just reading. Yeah, damage is strength +2. So okay, so soak is a roll that I make.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Soak is subtracted automatically from the attacker's total damage effect before it's rolled.
Oh,
So there's no rolling. Your soak is just automatic
that's right.
for everything. So
Well, in that case, my lethal soak is 8.
okay, so just 2 dice of damage.
Okay,
That's nice. That's a lot
Yeah.
nicer than werewolf. Rolling and maybe you get it.
rolling
maybe you
and
don't.
counter rolling and yeah. Okay,
Even if your soak is higher, they still roll 1 die damage.
okay. So you always have minimum damage. That works.
Okay,
That
I
makes-
forgot all about that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Game
Again,
changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Okay.
So he
2.
he takes 1 extra level of damage on that first attack from you. Then
Oh, okay. Oh, because he would take off
Take over
dice instead of. Okay. Well, then I guess he still has to roll to see how much damage I actually take.
But he only rolls 2 dice.
Right.
2 levels.
Okay. And you said lethal.
8, 9. Yep. You like out of the corner of your eye, you see the asphalt turn into it looks like tiny little rocks, and it rolls up and then fuses back together around her. And it looks like a weird candle because her head's still on
Still,
fire.
yeah.
She's like, oh.
And I had stepped forward in that like dramatic like hands down like bring it pose, so like everything from the shoulders down is encased in rock, and I'm, which is good because that means I have leverage to try
Yeah.
to like
Exactly.
break out of it. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, dramatically speaking.
All right. Gravity control guy versus your lightning.
Well, and also it's kind of like the question about storm. So
Yes.
because it says they just
Take automatic damage.
yeah, they take the automatic damage, and it's as long as I'm willing to maintain it, and yeah, I'll probably maintain this.
But their soak takes it. So
that's
yeah,
the other question.
it
So
just goes down to
automatic
1
damage
die.
is
Yeah, so
interesting, because you don't roll automatic damage. So how does that work?
it's not one of these. Well, let's check just to be safe.
well, wait, if it's 2, and it's
And their soak is like 10. You would still roll 1 die.
one second.
Not on
The
there.
dot empower rating. Also, his all of their dice pools are currently reduced
Correct.
by 2.
Correct.
So
That is the more damaging thing than
Yeah.
your damage. It does not. I don't have it on my cheat sheets here. Armor, mental disorders, quantum detection. So go ahead and roll your 1 die per each one to see if
soak
they're.
from automatic damage successes before you subtract damage dice. So it applies only once to each attack. So you can buy off the automatic successes with soak. If you have any left over, they start cutting into your damage dice.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So like my attack would do 6 automatic damage and 12 dice. If you've got, say, 10 soak,
Right.
you take off the 6 automatic and then take 4 off of my dice. So it applies once for each attack.
Okay.
But it comes off the automatic first.
Because he has two soak pools.
Right.
He has an automatic soak, and then he has his dice pool soak.
Yeah. Subtract soak from automatic damage successes before you subtract damage dice. And then
Oh, so
that's
you might not
what
even
I'm saying.
hit.
no,
No,
still
you
hit.
always hit.
If his automatic soak was 10,
That's what I'm saying. If his automatic soak was 10, if his
And you-
automatic
There's
soak,
no automatic soak.
yeah,
There's just soak.
There's just soak.
he has like a bracket that's like armor.
Oh,
which
okay.
she has taken off.
And that just so armor
tainted
just adds straight to soak.
Right. Because that's what my clothing does too.
Now there are abilities that then allow you to roll for additional soak. I know.
Yeah, armor, whether from mega stamina, quantum powers, or artificial soak sources, provides extra soak against bashing and
Yeah,
or
there's-
lethal effects. It's just extra soak. It's just normal soak just added on top of your regular soak.
What was it?
So like I've got absorption, and I roll that, and that then takes away more damage. But like my invulnerability, that's just up always, and that's just always soaked.
Right.
So unless you've got an ability that specifically tells you to roll, soak is just soaked.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, going back to her example, her total potential pool is 18.
6 automatic and 12 dice. So if he's
Right.
got 10 soak, the 6 automatic wouldn't happen, and I would only be rolling 8 dice.
Right.
Right.
So
But I think with the automatic damage, if it doesn't go above the soak, I think he just ignores it.
right, that's yeah. You absorb the automatic, and then you just have the chance to roll. And no matter what, so if I only had if I had 6 automatic and only 4 regular, and he had 10 soak, I would
Right.
still get to roll the 1 die, but that would be the only chance I had to do damage.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
That way your attack isn't just completely wasted.
right. But that way the automatic damage is less. It's still good, but it's less impressive than we thought it was.
I think it's still impressive.
I mean, it's still impressive, but it's not like you can't you can soak it, so it's
Yeah, the invulnerability is the big thing. Per dot, it's 6 soak.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's a crazy amount.
Yep.
So his total dice is 18 for soak. I thought it
Well,
was
also with invulnerability, it's against a specific
right.
type.
And lets you choose broad, which you could just do physical or energy.
Right.
Or you can take it twice and do both.
Right.
Right.
Again, these guys are fucking tainted out.
Yep.
Crazy.
Right.
So
But does he have to roll that to see how much
No.
his soak pool?
Absorption.
Okay.
yeah, absorption does.
Okay.
Yeah, these just provide
So he just has
permanent, provides 6 soak per dot against specific types.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy for a level 2.
Oh yeah. No, that's
Even
why
at,
I took
even
it.
at 1 dot.
yeah.
I was like, yes, I want 1 dot of this. Why? Shields.
So wait, so does he have 18 soak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I've got even more than that.
Yeah, they both have 18 soak,
Okay.
which is just 3 dots in it.
Right. And is it energy or is it both?
It's one is
Because this is where the calculations come in.
Right.
right. Bear has both. Dog just has energy attacks.
Okay.
He's a bear.
Okay. So does that mean I would have just been, if he's got 18 soak, I would have been cut
18
down to
energy, both of them. On
right.
Both sides.
But that means I would be cut down to 1 die no matter what,
right.
because that is my dice. That is my damage automatic plus
Right.
dice pool. Okay.
Yep.
And you don't have any way to boost that with your.
I can. Yeah.
Okay. It still does a die of damage. So
Right. No. I'm just making sure that that's because what just happened seemed like more than that. But that's no. If I know that's what's happening, I can boost the power.
right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, he turns the 1 point got through,
Right. Okay.
and the bear mask, not the dog mask. All right.
Right.
That's what that was. I thought there was something that was a.
This is the beauty of switching systems every week.
I know.
And 2 systems that were written by the same company and uses similar mechanics.
Yeah. All right, gravity control guy.
It's easier if you're going from werewolf to D20, like it's
Yeah.
keeping them straight.
All right, gravity control is the fucked up one.
Well, right now I'm being held to the ground.
Yeah, and he's going to turn on the gravity field around him. That's dexterity and gravity. Gravity control. It's a warp gravity. Warp local gravity up to 0.5 gravity. Normal gravity is 1. Weight objects will increase. Oh, it can be selective if he wishes. Increases some objects' mass, decreasing others, and leaving yet others alone. Good God. All right. If he tries to affect a living thing with this power, the target may resist with a willpower if they know it's coming, I think. Oh, I thought it was more than that. I thought it was a 0.5 per success. Let me make sure. Each success achieved can warp gravity by up to 5 on each success. So he triples Earth's gravity on you. So you go from however to 3 times. and he's just doing it on you.
Okay. I've got a 2 in mega strength.
All right.
Pretty sure I'm okay.
Operating non-standard areas difficult. People raise. Effects of gravity are applied to characters straightforward fashion to reduce need for formulas. Characters without gravity can operate with 1 extra dot on both strength and stamina in a 6. Oh, that's lowering it. Gaining strength. Characters without gravity control lose 2 dots from both strength and dexterity in a 1.5 or higher, since they're constantly resisting the increased pull of gravity. These adjustments affect not only dice pools, but jumping distances, initiative, encumbrance, endurance as well. So, I guess it's for every 0.5 you lose 2 dots. Would that be correct? Because in a 1.5, in a 0.5 higher than normal, you lose 2 dots, and you're at 3.
And it says for every
success, it goes up a 0.5.
It says for every 1.5 or higher. It kind of feels like it just does, because I kind of feel like this is that because when I read through this, a lot of the effects, it's just like it happens or doesn't. They don't scale. The only thing that scales up or down based on success is damage, or at least that's what I've been seeing. Otherwise, like, well, my storm would be taking off a lot more than just 2 dots right now.
Does it? Well, it would have to say per dice rolled, and this one definitely says per dice rolled.
Yeah, but it's like, where does it say the per dice? Like, I know it says like per dice, but it's like on some of these things, it's like,
right.
For example, on one of the rolls that I do for, say, Crush, I roll my intelligence, and that's how far I can push them. However, the damage is based off of the elemental mastery roll that I do, but that's listed after the movement and the intelligence roll. So you've got to like look at where punctuation and stuff like that is. So it's really weird.
And that's why I thought at first when I was looking at this, like it was just a 0.5, but it does. Inflicts 2 levels of dashing per dot in the power right now. So if it said per success, you'd be killing it.
Yeah. No, and like I was saying, I was like, it's very much like how it's worded in the.
Even the sphere is the same
gravity
thing.
Kinesis.
The only thing is in prison, it's a roll to see how strong it is.
Gravity control. Which
it's under gravity manipulation, I believe.
There's gravity control.
I think it's still on the first page at the bottom. Gravitational field. Nova can alter gravity in a given area for each success achieved on a dexterity and gravity control roll. He can warp local gravity by up to 0.5. So if you're doing the exact opposite.
Right there, it's for each success. Okay, so it's by 0.5. Okay.
Right.
Force increase. Equivalent amount, 100 kilograms of an object is 1.5.
And that's how you guys fell upwards so hard.
Yeah.
In that first
Objects
session.
in 0 gravity field. The nova can be selected. A creature or object becomes too heavy and can't move. If the nova tries to effectively may resist with a willpower roll.
Right.
So it's just resisting. Doesn't say anything about knowing about it or not. So I guess then it moves like what, under gravity? Was the next thing you were reading?
It's under the where'd it go?
Because on one page it's just gravity field and it ends like gravity field ends at may resist with a willpower roll.
Right. It says weight versus mass, and then gravity.
Yeah.
And that's where it says characters without it.
Okay, let's see.
It's the second paragraph, middle of the second paragraph.
It's just a flat. If it gets 1.5 or higher, it's just a flat. These adjustments affect not only dice pools, but that's just a flat. It doesn't go up with every success.
Okay.
Because again, it would say, per success. Yeah, so my strength and...
Falling damage is affected by that.
Oh, yeah, it is. And that makes a lot of sense. I'm
very
very glad I landed.
And falling upward does that as well, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because that was the problem that we had, is that we fell upward through a ceiling and then fell back down.
All right. So strength and dexterity are both down by 2 as you're resisting the pull.
Yes.
And we did say this is just affecting him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going with I can't resist it?
Roll your dexterity and see. I don't know how you would resist.
Well, it says spends a willpower to resist. And it's like, I know he was going to attack me because I got his attention and I said, fuck off. But at the same point in time, and I knew he was the gravity guy, so I knew he was doing something with gravity, but necessarily like turning it up on me or turning it off.
Yeah.
So it's
I guess you could be prepared if you're being tossed up in the air and things like that. So I don't know. Go ahead and may resist with willpower. It doesn't even say a roll.
perception awareness to see if I even catch on, and let that determine whether or not I get the willpower.
Living things with the gravitation of the target may resist with willpower.
We had this problem with the other one too, or it's like, does that just negate all of the power?
I don't know.
Well, the other one was written extra weird because it's like I would have to spend a willpower
Right.
to then roll half. This is
Right.
just spend a willpower and I negate it.
Looking through the errata, it's not even mentioned.
You can only spend one per turn.
I guess that's what you'd have to spend it per turn to negate it while it's still going on.
Probably because it's concentration. So,
Yeah, it doesn't say it at all.
which
Thanks, guys.
what do you have to do if something's got concentration? Because I might have to roll to maintain my other
Yeah,
thing.
you do. It's
Do not have that.
concentration. While concentrating, you're at +2 difficulty on any other actions you take. And then maintenance. Is it concentration or maintenance?
It's concentration.
Okay. It just lasts as long as you're concentrating on it, giving you +2 difficulty on anything else you do. And then if you're incapacitated or unconscious, it ceases immediately.
What is maintenance?
Maintenance means that once active, it remains automatically for a period of time, and thereafter you can pay
Okay.
additional quanta to keep it up.
Right.
Jeez.
But it doesn't require concentration. So,
Yeah, one's a flat. But I didn't know if this was like kind of like a D&D thing where it's like, oh, you got hit, roll to concentrate.
right. No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Just hard to do
It makes
other
what
things.
you're doing harder, but it doesn't necessarily make it harder for you to take
I guess
damage.
if you've got other things you're concentrating on too, trying to keep them going, then that would be cumulative.
yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay. All right. So spend your willpower point to resist it for this turn.
Yep. Actually, no, because what I was planning, I don't need strength because it only affects my strength and dexterity right now,
I
right?
believe so.
Yeah, I'm planning on a wits roll.
Okay. Make sure. Be safe. Strength and dexterity. 2 dots. As long as you're not down to 0 on either one of those.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I still have 2 in regular dex, and then my normal strength is now a 1, but I still have mega strength of 2.
Okay.
So however that pans out.
I think it comes off mega dice first, but I could be wrong.
That makes sense. But at the same point in time, it's like, okay, cool. I'm still really fucking
Right.
strong.
Okay. All right. So you guys locked in. It's your turn.
Yep. I am going to do imprison.
Okay.
So I got 7 on that. So
All right. Each turn, the character can subtract her dots in gravity from the attack successes. Any projectile attack, bullets thrown on objects.
gravitational
Furthermore,
shield.
yeah, provides 1 soak per dot. So
this is energy based. So
it's a gravitic shield. Excellent defense against any incoming projectile. Oh, okay. Deflects any hand-to-hand physical attacks. So yeah, it's fine.
yeah. So yeah, just again this coils of lightning come up and around. I am going to spend the extra to inflict the lethal.
Okay.
And it's twice the number, so 14 lethal
Okay.
energy based.
All right. Roll 1 die.
1.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Chipping away.
It does the same thing. It like streaks down his side, and you see this red mark go down him, and blood starts coming out of. Turns nice and purple. All right. That is initiative.
It's going to be a race to see who can tie up the other team first.
I rolled worse that time.
Fuck yeah.
All right. They got a 14.
Beat me by 1.
I got a 16 again.
All right. You go.
Let's see. You take turn. Inflicting damage. Fuck it. I'm going to imprison Bear.
Okay.
It's like, tie you up, tie you up, tie you up, tie you up.
Let me make sure his shield thing. Oh, there it is.
Only 5 for him.
Forceful like barrier of the element around him. This barrage 2 extra soak per dot versus bashing and lethal For an extra quantum point, the shield causes harm to anyone when it touches it and inflicts a number of dice dashing damage equal to the character's power rating. Shield constantly or slightly obscures others' view of the characters, not interfere with the vision of all. But it doesn't say physical or energy, so I'm assuming it's everything.
Shield is, but shield is also something you have to throw up.
It's maintenance. He did it right when you guys attacked. They both have a shield up.
Yeah. That's the only thing. Like, shield's awesome.
All right.
But yeah, all it does is it helps absorb. It adds soak. That's all it does.
Yeah. So how much damage?
10 energy base, but I know he's got the. So
Roll one die.
it's another one.
Okay. He grits his teeth from what you can see through the mask. All right.
So at this point in time, they are both clinched, and they are both under the effects of the storm.
Yep.
So these guys got a lot of negatives.
So it's -2 for him.
Can I see the errata or the book with the errata?
And what was the clinch to break out of a clinch?
It's
Strengthen.
martial arts or brawl, which means it can probably be dex or athletics. Or wait, dex would be martial arts, brawl would be strength. So it's strength and brawl or dex and martial arts.
Okay.
And they both have a -2
2.
from the dice pool to do that.
And what was the might on the?
So on dog, 14.
Okay.
On bear, 10. Yeah, I just wrote those down because like this is going to need to be kept in mind.
Yeah, 14 clinch. And what was bear?
10. Yeah, because it was 7 and 5 successes.
I'm assuming it wears down, or does he have to beat them all at once? Because this is going to be for you
It's a
too.
resisted roll, so I don't know.
Oh, so you roll your 10 dice.
Oh, okay. So I got to roll 10 and 14 dice.
Yes.
Okay.
This is dog.
Yeah. 9. A giant pool of doom.
All right. And the other one?
No, I hate that. The way it's written doesn't make any sense. The way you're doing it makes sense, but might has nothing to do with clinch. Normally, might is its own thing, so... But because might is a skill underneath,
Right.
but it doesn't have anything to do with a clinch. So that really bothers me. But it makes sense just to translate that into strength.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to see if there was anything in the errata about it, and there isn't. Like...
Oof. 6.
He got 7.
Yeah.
So he busts out of his clinch. All right. And dog is still in his. And when you're in a clinch, you can't do anything but break out, correct? Because this also goes to you, too, for what you're...
Right, that's I'm double checking. I'm reading through it again. Right, neither the attacker nor the defender may use any other standard combat maneuvers, but body altering powers would still work. So like I
Okay.
could still immolate, but that would be about it.
Okay.
So no punches or anything until you get out.
Okay. All right. That is this elemental? Yes. Are you dodging or anything, Zeus?
No.
Range doesn't matter. You guys are too close.
Well, if he just spent his turn busting out, that's the end of his turn, isn't it?
I don't... On
Yes,
a clinch?
it's an action to.
Oh.
I mean that. Yeah, you can't do anything else while you're in it, and that is your turn
Okay.
to break out.
So he just breaks out.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm about to get real annoying.
All right.
Is it my turn to break out?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost.
I was busy trying to read through things, so I lost track of who was going.
That's all right. There it is. All right. What is your soak, Zeus?
Lethal or bashing?
Lethal.
This is physical?
This is an energy attack.
Energy attack. Okay. So 13
Okay.
before absorption, but absorption kicks in after.
Okay. There's still 3 extra dice left over afterwards.
Okay. So now he gets to roll those, and based off of what he rolls those, I then get to attempt to absorb.
Okay. And this is part of the soak roll, correct?
There is no soak roll.
Right, absorption happens like directly off of the damage you would otherwise be taking, not
Okay.
not pre-soak damage.
All right. So your soak is 13?
Yes.
All right. So 3 roll over, and they roll dice for that.
Yes.
For the hit. 8 levels of damage above and beyond the soak. Because it's the successes on the hit roll that you roll, correct?
No, those
No,
don't.
soak comes off of damage. So you roll the hit like normal. Successes comes off. You would dodge would take off successes of that, but you're
Right.
not. And then before you roll damage is when soak happens.
But I thought we just figured out that there's an automatic soak that that is subtracted from the automatic damage from a quantum bolt, and then if it
Right,
succeeds
but I still have to
and-
roll to hit.
Right, and they rolled
But
to hit.
that-
Right,
They
so-
rolled 9 successes to hit.
Right. So you.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. So your extra, you would
So-
hit 3 from the power, and then you had extra attack dice that rolled into. Yeah,
And I
no,
would
that's-
roll those, but the 3
Yeah.
dice just get added onto the successes.
No, you would roll those 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the automatic damage comes off first, and then you're just left with dice afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
11.
Okay.
not significantly better, but yeah,
That's fine.
Sorry.
we're figuring it out.
Yes. It's just a lot different than werewolf. It's not a lot different.
It's
It's,
not a lot
subtly
different.
Also,
different.
the other
Yeah,
thing
it's-
is the -2 comes from literally every roll.
Right.
So.
Right.
This is hitting you in the back.
Oh, cool. So someone who's not in there.
Yes.
Awesome. We were underinformed again.
Yeah. well. They said that They said that these 2 guys were there, and it looked like other people were converging on them.
Okay.
We were
They
informed,
they were
just
contacting
not
contacting
specifics.
other Terrigen members
Right.
in the area, possibly a cell. Quantum Bolt is just such a son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. No,
Power.
it is.
And this is sonic energy, sound waves.
Okay. So I absorb 4 of those,
Okay.
which give me 2 extra dots in strength.
Okay.
But
So it further negates the gravity control.
yeah. But I take the rest as damage.
Okay.
So it was 11, so minus 4,
Seven.
so 7.
Yeah. And your clothes in the back are shredded off like into fibers, individual fibers. Are you still up?
I am still up.
Okay.
Shield is about to come up.
Okay. And as you turn around, there is a woman behind you in all gray, and she's got a sort of trench coat hoodie thing on, and her sleeves are wide. And as you turn around, she's got her fists pointed towards you, and they're vibrating, and like the sleeves are opened up completely as this sound wave is overtaking you. We said new gods, and the voice is the same voice you heard when you were approaching the area. And it's her voice amplified like a Harry Potter spell, whatever is it.
Yeah. Just,
Really loud, like almost too loud. All right. Mary,
Yes.
it is your turn.
I tried to break out of a thing.
And it's just a resisted roll, right? The 10
Right.
dice.
Right. And I'm going to spend a willpower for an automatic success
Excellent.
because I don't have that many dice. I'm going to use one of my mega to drop my difficulty
Okay.
and roll the other. Four and 3.
You got 6.
3. Yeah, no.
he gets -2 from his roll.
From the might of the thing, once the
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing
no,
is
no,
set
no,
up-
that
yeah,
would
yeah, no,
be-
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
this was.
You're right, you're right, you're right.
It would have come off the initial roll,
Yep,
but this is
yep.
not.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, nope, I'm still there.
Because he's not actually doing this. That's kind of like one of the
Right.
beautiful things about it.
Once it sets up, it's
Once it's up, it's up.
all right. So we are at. You went first again.
I went
didn't
first,
you?
yeah.
All right. So it is initiative again.
Yes.
God damn it.
Well, that's better.
16.
18.
15.
Okay. So Mary, would you like to bust out of this thing again?
I'm gonna try.
I'm busted out.
Spend the other willpower. There's not much else I can do here.
Immolate does damage to everything touching you, correct?
Yes, it does. Does the earth take damage?
I guess if you melted it, how hot can you get? I guess that's the real question.
I don't know that I can turn it up. I'm doing 6 lethal to it every turn automatically.
I would think so, but
Yeah, it's not meant to be the real.
damage
Sort of a
effect. Anyone who
defensive-
touches it, dice of bashing damage. It's just people touching it, though.
Right, if you deliberately try to. Well, yeah, I mean, it's.
Damages anything he touches.
Right, right.
Or anything that touches him.
It's not a. Yeah, it's-
Quantum plus power level times 3.
right, I don't think I can.
Or power level times 2 for lethal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strictly based on power level. Even the extras aren't really. I don't think there's much I can do to pump that up.
Right, because you can also you have to remember is like specifically with like elemental mastery and clench. I can clench you with a non-physical thing. It's as an energy.
If
So
he bumps into an innocent bystander, smashes through a wall or gas pump,
Oh, yeah.
simply walks on the street, he damages those people and objects that
Right.
potentially dashes. I'd say this turn heating up. So this turn, you would to be doing damage to it, so it doesn't have as much to do. So we're going to say 3 points, but this will also work against him if he's doing that against someone who's immolating as well, or turning into gaseous form or something like that. You're basically just, it's asphalt. You're melting it into a liquid substance again. So
Okay.
let's roll your dice and damage.
I don't roll. It's automatic damage.
Oh, that's right.
It's not dice. It's
So it
it's
takes
just
away.
6.
So your strength
lethal
roll now,
damage.
your clench roll to get out versus what's left.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do the same thing. 1 mega for
Okay.
lessened penalties or difficulties and the willpower.
And this it starts turning into like lava cake almost. And she's not heating up anymore. She's just staying there at the same heat. And she slowly starts to move.
That's a
One
much
success.
better roll. I got 4.
It just starts slouching down as she steps out of it slowly, like she's stepping, like her shoes stuck.
It sloughs off
Yeah.
because I hate the word slough.
And it's also
But it's perfect.
stinking like
Yeah.
asphalt smells when it's burning. So the whole area starts, with the wind and everything, the lightning that's going on, that's all turning into a nice smoky atmosphere.
That's
All
fun,
right.
but that is my turn.
You're free.
So
All right, their turn. He's going to try and roll again to get out with his minuses. He's reducing his difficulty. It's still rolling like a motherfucking asshole.
we're okay with this.
That's another one off.
If you roll like an asshole, I'm pretty sure I got you.
You got 6 successes.
7, 8.
That did it.
Bad dog.
All right. Oh, yeah, for your concentration, you got whacked really good. What's your minuses? What are you at minuses wise? For
Me?
your damage, yeah. Or do you have any sort of...
Yeah, I'm at -4. Sorry, I completely forgot about that. So I guess we roll.
Not for the clinch.
Yeah, that's the
Already
clinch, so
on.
that's fine.
And it's not concentration, is it? It is concentration.
Yes,
There's no
yes, it is.
concentration roll for this, so it doesn't.
But no. So concentration just takes a -2 for
It just
anything
makes
that I do.
Yeah, it makes your other action.
So you're-
It's a +2 difficulty to everything else.
Right. It's a plus. So
Oh, yeah. So you need 2 extra dice from everything
Right.
That's the
Instead of just
difficulty
one
roll.
success, you get
for everything.
Yeah.
That's a lot harder.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
yeah.
But you're also at -4 for being hurt, for being in pain, as your back has been
yeah.
melted almost. With
Oh,
sonic
that was the other
energy.
thing I was going to do is spend 2 quantum on my turn reflexively to regenerate because
Okay.
I do that.
Yep.
I forgot to declare
that
that,
is-
but it didn't take an action, so
that is
All right.
That's another thing that I will be doing as well.
All right.
I
He
have-
tried to break free. The other guy is free. And you're on the guy that's still held. She's on the other guy. So he is going to use his...
Yeah, I gotta get a copy of everything plus the errata and just have that as be its own sheets.
Yeah.
I'm really happy I only have 2 powers, but they're printed out and highlighted.
Well, the thing is with
It's useful.
with elemental mastery,
There's so much you can do with it.
you get access to all of the powers.
Right.
They just
and
have
they all have
different
their own
costs.
rules and and some of them refer to other rules and yeah.
There's a reason it's a 5. It is a well-earned 5.
Yeah.
I was correct. I put my armor rating in a separate spot than my total soak, and I couldn't remember if I had added it in or not. I hadn't, so when I gave you the higher number, it was correct. That's but I had to go write all of that down so I don't have to go do that again.
Let's see who he attacks. If he's going to attack you, no, he attacks her. All right. Bear breaks free of his lightning cage and throws a blast of concrete and everything else at you.
Okay.
And his base damage for this is 25 bashing,
Okay.
but he's got 3 successes that are rolling over. So
Okay.
I guess I should roll those now and see how much. Or we wait
No,
till...
no. My bashing soak is 12.
Okay.
So 12 would come off of his automatic.
25, so it's 13 left.
So I would take 13 automatic plus you would roll the other 3.
How did he get his that high?
Quantum times 2 and his power rating times 3. He's got 5 in both.
Oh, because he's just using blast, not lethal blast.
Correct. Yeah, there is no turning that into lethal.
Well, no, there is an actual ability called lethal blast.
Yeah. All right. So what are you at?
Well, how many? Well, okay. So what we just said?
Two extra successes, 2 extra levels.
So 15 total levels of bashing damage.
It's 7, and then it rolls over
When
to
you
the
hit
top,
crippled, it goes back up.
and it
So okay.
makes an X.
Yeah. Let me actually go through and mark things, and then I'll tell you what happens.
Okay.
So bashing 1, 13.
So the incapacitated does get clicked.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, because it's
Oh.
basically going to knock you out with some extra damage,
Okay.
some lethal damage on top.
That sucks because I can. I'm fine. I'm incapacitated, but I'm
Okay.
only lethal to hurt, and I would only have a -1 dice penalty if I was still awake.
Okay. So these chunks of concrete and everything are flying at her, and one just clocks her square in the head, and her neck snaps back, and she instantly comes out of immolation and falls down backwards. You think she conks her head pretty good. What does your regeneration do? We need to look that up.
I think I have to activate it. Let me see if it does anything reflexively.
And how fast do you heal? Because that's another thing. Because once you get
I'll
that
figure that out.
incapacitated bashing done, your mega stamina
It's an automatic action
to what?
to use
Then that happens
regeneration.
right now.
Does it happen automatically? Okay. It would still.
It would happen every
it-
single time. Every time you get hurt,
Or would it just be on?
it's automatic. Unless it says automatic when you're.
Hang on.
knocked
It's
out.
automatic. It's an automatic action. Maximum number of health levels per turn equal to my mega stamina rating.
There you go.
Okay.
That's each time you get hit.
So also I was looking at mega stamina,
Yeah.
and so for dice penalties, they're all because I've got a mega stamina of 2. It reduces them all by 2. So I'm
Right.
only getting -2 instead of a -4.
Right. And that's the digital character sheet I sent you. You can actually set up each of your health levels to
Yeah, I
be
haven't-
different dice pools.
Right. I mean, that's
Minuses
why
and stuff.
I have because I
Yeah.
literally only have one negative
Right.
like at all because
Right.
of mega stamina. So I have extra levels and
Right.
all of my penalties are basically gone.
Right. And your regeneration happens right now.
Okay. In that case, I said maximum health level restoration equal to mega stamina. My mega stamina is 3, I believe. So that heals from the
Bottom up.
up.
3 bashing.
3 bashing. So I'm up to I am wounded, but I'm up
There you
and
go.
fine.
So she hits the ground and she kind of shakes her head and
Okay. So yeah, if it's
but she's out. She snuffed out.
Right.
if regeneration is automatic, then I am also higher up.
Right.
I still have to spend the quantum for that, though, I think.
Yes.
It stops working, I think, if you run out of quantum.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine.
I am exactly 1 dot away from maxing out the pool.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, this is the good thing about not having that many powers is I don't have a lot to spend it on. So
Right.
even if I don't have a max quantum,
Right.
I don't use that much of it either.
So that was Bear. Dog tried to get out. He did not.
So I'm still on the ground, but I'm awake.
Yes.
Quantum points to instantly heal, bashing and lethal. Okay, so it doesn't work on aggravated, but bashing and lethal it does.
Oh, there you go. That's nice to know.
I thought we found in the errata where it does, but the cost is 3 per
Oh,
level.
yeah, I think we did see that.
'Cause I had that
making me
literally
something to
crossed
not-
out. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you literally wrote it into the yeah.
So it still works.
Yep. Yeah, that last sentence gets crossed out, and then because it specifically says it doesn't work here, but we figured out it does work just at more higher cost. That wasn't grammar. That's fine.
That's all right.
And this is why I took regeneration.
It's definitely worth it. Wow, she almost botched. That's crazy. It's crazy when you roll out of dice and you're like, 1 success. All right. From behind you, the lady that hit you turns her powers on again, and it strobes. And for this turn only, you can't hear anything. Just wah, 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 wah. Your eardrums are just like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 1 success on a roll. 1 turn.
Yeah.
As you're, let me see the map real quick. All right. So she is here. Megahertz. All right. 2 other people show up on scene. And as they sort of come out of the woodwork, one is a bronzed looking guy with these gigantic claws, and he looks like he has gold skin. And the other one is in like a black cloak, and she's got a sword that seems to be glowing a little bit. And it seems like her shadow is coming out from underneath this cape cloak thing she's got on. And as they are charging at both of you, some other folks come into the scene that you recognize.
Oh, thank God.
You're right.
It's like,
And
I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna die this turn, but
and
I'm throwing up shields. Like,
you see the people that were at your house for way too long have all shown up, and they start squaring up. Does anyone else have? All right. So Dante comes into the scene about the same time this I can't think of his name. We're gonna get his name. Bronze Demon shows up with the claws, and Dante from behind him starts attacking the dog guy mentally. So he's trying to struggle, and all of a sudden his eyes kind of roll back in his head, and you guys are not trapped anymore. The clone lady shows up.
oh, something to keep in mind. I believe that the imprison
Yes.
keeps doing the damage.
Okay.
So I mean, it's only one dice that I'd be rolling against him, but
yeah, I think as long as they fail to break out, it keeps clinching.
yeah. So
That's how clinch works anyway.
Right.
So we're just gonna say like I just didn't succeed on those other two rolls.
But I would think it would happen on your turn that it would do the damage.
That and Mega Stamina, the 1 or 2 levels, they're doing damage, but you don't know if they're sticking around.
Yeah.
It's the same thing you guys got. If it's automatic, it's just
Right.
Yeah, it's only once per turn, but if they're not getting hit much, it's
yeah. All right. Ditto shows up. She's behind the person with the sword, and she splits off into 2 others, and she has a knife in one hand and a 45 in the other. Mr. Patel, the matter guy, he has in his outfit that he has on, he has like a beaded necklace with all these different elements on it, and he reaches up and grabs one, and he turns into like this diamond looking person, and he's going up against Bear. The shapeshifter Brett charges up the demon guy with claws against claws. They're just going to go crazy. And Megahertz and Copycat, does she have to touch for that? Quantum imprint, yep, touched. Can duplicate some or all the powers herself. The touch nova does not lose any power, so she's not quite like Rogue, but she also can leech off of, so she starts draining her instead of taking her powers, draining her quantum off her. All right. So the battlefield has changed a little bit, and everyone's sort of squared off to draw the attacks off of you guys or to help you with some of the others. And we have Andrew left in the turn?
Yes.
I went first, so yeah.
Yes. And so the bad guys went, and then everyone kind of showed up to...
Yeah, we just all rolled really high. So
Yeah.
even though I was like way up there, I was like in the, I think it was like a 13 or something like that. It was like everyone was just like, yeah, 16, 17. Oh, I got a 13.
Yeah.
I'm up here, guys. What's up?
I rolled almost max, so
Yeah, I rolled like
my 18.
I rolled like 3 off of it or something like that, but still.
All right. So the field has changed. People have run up, and they're all attacking each other. So Megahertz gets grabbed from behind, and she puts her hand on her face, and she starts leeching off quantum as much as she can. So her sonic thing stops. She puts her hands up to try and take her, wrestle with her. So it's you and Dog facing off.
I with him still handled.
His eyes are rolled up in his head as Dante is attacking him mentally.
I'm going to shield up this turn. That's
Okay.
what I do.
Lightning crackles out of the ground. All right, it is 10:18.
Yeah, I just saw that.
So we are going to start fresh the next time we start, and we'll go from there.
I'm going to make sure I mark down what the quantum I've spent.
Yes, make sure you mark down your quantum, your willpower if you've been spending that.
Yeah.
Any powers that are affecting.
The good thing about
Maintenance.
about everything having died means that I have to reactivate them all next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the only
system.
thing I've got Storm, which is concentration, not maintenance, and I've got Clinch,
Right.
which is so yeah.
Is that maintenance too, or is that concentration?
That's maintenance. One is
Okay.
yeah, the Storm concentration,
Okay.
which I may be dropping soon,
Okay.
and then the Clinch is just maintenance.
Okay.
So
All right. All right. So
yeah,
that was
it's one thing to set up the Clinch and then use it to hold on to people. That's Storm's really great for that.
Right.
But the second, there's a bunch of people going around. Turn this off.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, this is one thing I will do then, just on my turn to end it off. I will stop
Just drop it.
maintaining Storm.
I think it's just a matter of saying I'm turning it off and it just turns off.
Yeah. Last few crackles go around, so
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and erase the dotted line.
Okay.
Interesting, because immolate is not concentration; it's maintenance.
Means that you turn it on, it runs for its time, and if you want to reactivate it, you just spend the quantum for it.
Right, but that means it might not necessarily turn off when I go unconscious.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that'd be a...
It depends on, if your time hasn't run out, I'd imagine
I
it
don't
doesn't.
know what the time is on it.
Yeah, I can't find anything that says what the time is.
Is it in the errata anywhere?
Maybe.
Oh, wait, here we go. Unless specifically stated otherwise in the power description, assume a power used in combat or other stressful situations lasts for quantum plus power rating in turns. So, immolate would be up for...
What page is Immolate on?
Immolate itself is on 204. The power descriptions are what I'm reading on 179 about the maintenance and stuff.
Immolate gives 2 different damage values, one under effect and one under description. Use the following: quantum plus power rating times 3 bashing, or quantum plus power rating times 2 lethal.
Hang on.
That's the only errata.
I think that's... Let me double check that that's what I got. You said...
Quantum plus the power rating times 3 bashing,
Which doesn't matter, because I always do lethal.
or quantum plus power rating times 2 lethal.
Yeah, that's what I got written down.
Okay. That's all it says for the errata for that.
Okay.
So it would maintain...
Yeah, so my quantum is
Unless there's something about falling
3 and the
unconscious.
power rating is 2. So it would go for at least 5 turns without... Oh, wait, no, that's power rating is how many, right? Power rating is what I put into it, right?
No, so all of the powers are rated as a 1, 2, or
Right.
3.
Okay, so yeah, it's 2. So it would go for at least 5 turns without me having to think about it.
Yeah.
Which means it probably would have still... So what that... Unless it says anything under incapacitation...
That's what we're going to have to look up. 'Cause
Right.
It may...
And it may, and I thought about that too, but I was like, if it doesn't, that means that cinematically, when she fell, her fire did not burn out, but it started to get, like, it got lower and burned bluer as she started to wake up again. Like, it sort of turned inward a little bit, but it didn't turn off.
Let's see.
Got to recollect all my dice.
Well, that also makes that scarier, though. If it doesn't turn off when I drop unconscious, that means I can do a lot of damage without meaning to,
Right.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Doesn't say anything about incapacitated.
Cool. So I'm still on fire. I will
You just
mark
can't
that.
do any actions.
Right. And it doesn't take an action to be doing anything. So, or to be on fire. To be being on fire. All right. I will make note that I am still in
I mean,
the
there are
light.
plenty of dead people who take no actions who are still on fire. I mean,
Right?
Yeah,
So I guess
you
the
don't
next
have
turn is how many rounds did that go?
to- Oh,
Was it
shit.
3 or 4?
I want to say this is 4th round.
This that we are going into or that we just did?
so there was the first round where I threw up.
Immolated, fire-bolted, tried to escape. That was the 4th round.
Yeah, because
So we're on to the 5th round.
because
Yeah.
I went storm, clench,
Yeah.
clench, shield.
Yep. So we just finished the 4th round of that combat. So, yep.
All right.
Now that I know that matters,
Gotta keep track of all this shit.
we do.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that over here.
All right. 5 experience points. Good everything.
Okay.
Party hardy. Got off on a mental goose chase.
That was fun.
Did some PR stuff.
I took a
Made
nice
friends
try. Yeah.
who have turned out to be good, maybe.
Or at least useful.
Useful. Not terrible. Not a total loss. All right. And I think that's it. This has been a production of Gaming Without Gaming. All rights reserved. Until next time, we'll see you guys.